Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the morning show. My name is Phil Balabanos. And if you're watching the morning show, it means you're watching it live.
Hey.
This is not in the past. That always throws me off. It's not in the past. It's actually happening right now. We're sitting here with like a 0-second delay because we're not scared of being censored. We don't need to be careful what we say. I mean, there's probably a lag in the stream. I mean, there's probably a little bit of delay.
It's about like 3-4 seconds.
It's 3-4 seconds. Poseidon once tried to censor all the nonsense we say, and it was just a series of beeps that were out of place. Poseidon, the producer of the morning show, the Poseidon69 on all your social media channels where you get your social media. He's on Twitch, he's on social media. Like I said, he's doing all kinds of weird and wacky things. He's been pretty subdued the last couple weeks. I think the weight of adulthood is finally weighed on him, and he's like, holy shit, I'm not a child anymore. Yeah, he should see how he's reacting. He's like, yeah, you're fucking right. I've grown up. Coming straight from the South Shore, we got George Chanzrizos. George is a disgraced former non-elected member of parliament. I mean, he was never in parliament. He tried to get elected. It all went south. I made him some videos. Oops, sorry, George. George has 2 podcasts, and that's what he does now with his days. He's in the basement in Broussard making the Backstage podcast. The Backstage podcast is a podcast that really dives deep into the backstage of public life. Is that right? It doesn't matter if it's right. He talks to people who are currently trying, well, in this case specifically, people who are trying to gain your trust and your votes to put them back in power or newly put them in power. You know, some of them aren't already elected. And he talks to them and he gives them a chance to tell them why them. Aside from that, they also talk about a lot of the nonsense that happens backstage in these kind of environments. George also has another podcast called Just Us Dads. Chupapi. A little delayed, but that's not so bad. Better than the stream. Just Us Dads is the only podcast that I've ever found that is by dads, for dads, and really not for children. I mean, it's not for children at all. They talk some mad shit about their kids and their wives. I honestly sometimes wonder, do their wives know what they do in the basement? What would be worse? My husband and his 2 friends go downstairs and they do weird things in a closed room, or they produce a podcast about being a dad. You can check those out over on George's channels. All the links are in the description below. Like I said, my name is Philip Balabanos. That's right, it's actually Philip. It's not some weird other version. Philip Balabanos, balabanos.com. I make commercials, I make videos, as Pantelis always says. I make all kinds of cool stuff. You can check it out. We got new shows coming in the fall to the channel. Standing By, starting next week. I won't tell you more if you haven't figured out what Standing By is. Head over to panteliscomedy.com.
Yeah.
Or over to the Patreon to get all kinds of early access to stuff. And in this specific instance, there's some early access. There's some stuff we can't tell you here that was said on the Patreon and has already been released. So head over to, what is it? Patreon.com/Pantelis. Sign up to the nation or whatever he's calling it nowadays. And without further ado, let's get to the news, George.
Didn't we talk about it on Wednesday? I'm trying to remember because I don't want to spoil anything.
It's for the new fans. It's for the new viewers. George, I'm doing a little marketing. It's marketing.
Okay. So we can't say what it's about?
No, we can, but I'd rather they go check it out.
Okay, because the video is out. I mean, everything is pretty much public by now, no?
Why are you ruining my marketing? This is why you didn't get elected, George. You don't know how to fucking build up. It just climax with you. It's like, blah, it's over. Like you pick up a girl, you take her to your house.
There's no foreplay.
There's no foreplay. Thank you. I couldn't find the word.
You did the build-up on a Wednesday. Everything is public, and
not everybody who's on the stream now is here on a Wednesday. I'm trying to give them the same experience. I want them to feel good. Just because you foreplayed with one hooker, George, doesn't mean that every subsequent hooker just gets the dick.
It's and
it depends on my moods.
For the record, they should go to. I don't know when that episode is releasing normally, but it's on Patreon. Everyone should go and watch it because
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm super pumped, man.
I haven't seen it. I'm not a patron. And I'm not a patron, and Padeli wouldn't give me the early access link, that fucker. He's like, what? People are going to fucking pay and you're going to get it early? I'm like, but I contribute. He's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no. It's super exciting. I honestly can't stress enough how happy I am.
I can see from that smile on your face.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of things happening, and it's good because the hard work you guys put in is paying off, and it's big, man. I mean, these are big names in the Canadian broadcasting scene,
absolutely,
right?
I 100% agree with you. And I mean, this is not something like, I'm sure a lot of people tune in and they're like, oh, look at Pantelis. He made a podcast last year and now he's huge. I mean, that's not what's happening. Like, he's been fucking grinding forever. I remember when he first came to rent for me at the Xenospace. He's like, I just need a little room. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Podcast. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you'll always have the people that are gonna be like, "Well, this guy just came out yesterday. What the fuck is going on?" You know, they don't see the hard work. That's
nobody
that's
ever sees
happening.
the hard work. Everyone just wants to fucking say, "Oh, like honestly, since the beginnings of, I mean, the what's the word I'm looking for? The increase in viewers, right? From when he got his own studio when he was renting. And when we started doing this just thing also, that's when I first came into the mix. Like, I mean, we've done stuff together for years. Like, we've shot movies and pilots and all kinds of fun, crazy, wacky stuff. But regularly, that's when I started contributing to the channel, I guess you could say. I remember we were talking about the other day watching. He had no subscribers. Like, he had no subscribers. And I remember those days and we're like, yo, we got 12 views on this just thing this week. Yes. I remember those days. And ever since then, somehow... I mean, not somehow. I mean, we do stuff together so people know that we share space. We do stuff together. We produce things together. So people just approach me, which I never experienced this before. I always had the same assholes coming up to me. So, hey, yo, Spielberg, you still making movies? I'm like, yeah, guy on St. Rock, I'm still making movies. They're like, oh, bro, how about best idea for a movie ever? So I had learned how to shut those conversations down, right? Because these guys... I mean, sometimes I would listen if I was curious, but for the most part, these guys are just nonsense. They're not doing anything with their lives. They just have some stupid idea, and they want to tell you because they think, I don't know what they think, to be honest. So I would be like, I would make it seem so complex, and they would just be like, whoa, and they'd back off, right? But ever since I started doing stuff with Pantelis, people are like, yo, I need you to produce my podcast. I was like, what? I have a podcast. I'm like, you have a podcast? I've never heard it. Yeah, it's called whatever, something stupid. I'm like, how many episodes? Oh, no, bro, it's all up here. So now I have this new fucking... This new barrier to my life that I have to get around, which is people want me to make either the dumbest movie that I've ever heard or some podcast that they're never going to do. I'm like, what's it about? They're like, well, it's about me talking about things. I'm like, oh, wow, this is fucking groundbreaking podcast shit. but enough about that. I'm sure Pantelis is cursing our names for not giving any news out yet.
Why? This is news. No, honestly.
I just like talking about how good he's doing. I think he's doing a bang up job. He's the Rihanna of podcasting.
And I think we need to be highlighting that. And just to wrap up that whole thing, that episode is amazing because it gives you a backstory that no one even knew about, right? I mean, because
okay, you said too much. You stop. You marketing, George.
Yeah. No, but that's it. So I mean. That for me was the most fascinating thing because there's one thing you learn in the media, and then backstage there's a bunch of other.
Look at George fucking piggybacking.
Look at this bastard.
He does know market tang.
Fucking bastard.
Doesn't market tang sound like a cheap hooker you'd pick up at a public market? I'm gonna go get some market tang.
Maybe in
Thailand.
Yeah, or some shit.
Oh, you got my tang. I don't know what that was. I have no idea. What were you gonna say? You were gonna say something.
I was gonna say I found George's new anthem.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so Drake dropped a new album.
I have not heard any of it yet.
Certified Lover Boy, CLB, right?
Cock loving bitch. Certified Lover Boy. That's a great title, but it's not from an old R&B song. Anyways, you're too young. You wouldn't know.
Anyways, the cover is basically 9 pregnant women emojis. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's funny. It has something to do with Labor Day and about the 9 months. Anyways.
Okay.
So
I guess this is news.
There's a song
like Labor Day, like the long weekend Labor Day.
Yeah, like today it drops on Labor Day today because of women being in labor. So
he missed the point, but okay,
it's a whole thing. No, I know, but
no, him, not you.
Oh, art. Anyways, it's art.
Art.
I love how you can just do random dumb shit and you can just be like art. It's art.
It's a banana with a fucking shit stain on it. Art. I make art. Makes you think, right? Go on.
Shove it up your ass.
Okay, too far. That's not art.
So, Phil Cat, bro.
Just keep going.
It took 5 minutes.
It's okay.
It took 5 minutes, bro.
You ruined the whole show.
5 minutes, bro.
Okay, get to the point so we can do some news coverage.
So George's new anthem is called Poppy's Home.
All that buildup was for that.
Oh my god!
It's a song called Poppy's Home, bro. That's
I'm gonna listen to it after the show, and depending on how good of a joke it is later, we'll decide what to do with you. George, Before you get into the news, I want to talk about something that I did some research on.
Let's go.
I have witnessed something. First of all, I found this Instagram page. It doesn't have a huge following. It's called No Pass MTL. It's about it's a page dedicated to business owners who are affected by the vaccine passport, and I mean business owners who have to now verify their clientele.
Is this linked to that video you put up the other day on Instagram?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah. So basically, this is a place where people can publicly, what's the word I'm looking for? Wow.
Denounce.
Not denounce. Thank you. Where they can publicly announce their intent of, practicing non-compliance, not passporting people, not checking for papers, not making sure they're vaccinated.
It's very courageous.
I knew a lot of businesses would do it. I just didn't think anyone would come out publicly. Because in my head, I'm like, well, once you say that, now the government knows you're doing it. Yeah, exactly. They're going to be up your ass all the time.
What's the purpose of this now?
So the first business that I saw was a small, like a sandwich coffee shop in the southwest of Montreal. Very famous in the neighborhood. I mean, I've been there before. They have excellent coffee. Fucking great sandwiches, actually. And they said, listen, we are going to stand, against this. We want all of our clients to be able to come in. We're still going to follow all the safety measures. There's still masks. There's still distancing. Like, we're not pretending that COVID is fake. Like, that's not what's going on. We encourage people to get vaccinated, but we will not be checking for papers. If you want a sandwich or a coffee, by all means, come in and get it. Right? That was the first one. And then I saw a bunch of others. And it made me I was kind of shocked that people would actually publicly announce. Like, I thought the days where people would put their livelihoods on the line for a cause, I thought those days were done. Like, I didn't think there were still people like that were willing to do that. And I just want to say, like, I'm not advocating. I mean, if some of these guys are anti-vaxxers, I don't know if they think COVID is an alien thing, or I'm not getting into any other wacky conspiracy theories. I'm just talking about people who accept the health measures but refuse the passport and are saying, I'm taking a public stand and I will fight the fines because this is not a law. So the thing is, that's what I want to ask you about. Is this a law? Are the mandates law? They're not, right?
I don't think so, and we're never getting a clear answer. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because right before we went live, I was recording a podcast with Mark Miller. He's the minister responsible for Indigenous affairs, and
so he must know a lot about the COVID passports, is what you're saying.
Well, he's a lawyer by trade.
Oh, okay, cool. I take it back.
So, but I mean, we spoke about the whole issue with the legality the indigenous populations and everything that's been happening this year. And I asked him just bluntly, I go, are you allowed to do this, right? And the answer isn't clear. It's never clear. I mean, any lawyer that you ask, they're if they go the law route, I don't think it's a law. And last week, when the vaccination passport took effect, I was listening to the radio, and they had a bunch of labor lawyers on the line, because they're wondering what happens with employees, whether they're working for the government or anywhere else, because the government has authorized employers to sanction employees or to fire them, whatever it is. It's like the entire responsibility rests on the shoulders of these employers, and they're asking them, what happens if you go to court? Like, if an employer either sanctions an employee or fires an employee and is taken to court, in the name of the law, what happens? Who's in the right and who's in the wrong? And most of these lawyers that were called to comment said that the employee will most definitely be in the right, because first of all, there is absolutely no jurisprudence with what's happening, and secondly, not taking the vaccine is not illegal. So it will be very difficult for the employer to prove in court that what the employee did is above the law.
Interesting.
So
it's a fucking weird gray area, right? Like, the reason I'm asking is one of the businesses, and this is the only one I'll actually name because I spoke to the guy yesterday. I reached out to him. He it's Cafe Roma in Villeray. He posted similar kind of message. And he said, and again, I don't have any proof of this. I'm taking the guy at his word. I don't know him personally. This is the story that I was told. He posted this 3 days ago, I think on September 1st or whenever it was, that he would be willing to but to welcome all clientele. Mm-hmm. And the police, the station in his neighborhood, they went to his store. And they told him, you need to take that post down. Now, forget the fact that that's kind of bullying. Where is the legal precedence for you have to take this social media? Like, the police enforced the law. Nothing that he did was illegal. Why are the police now at his place of business telling him to do something that there's nothing illegal about this. There's no law that says he can't do this. There's no law that says they can have him remove this. I mean, he didn't, and good for him. But it's such a fucking weird gray area.
No, it's crazy, but it's interesting to me that this forum that you're talking about. I just want to understand what the purpose is behind it. I mean, do they want to raise awareness and to kind of create this forum where people will be aware of which businesses won't require the vaccination passports?
Like,
but George, the goal? Is it to pressure?
No, they're trying to show united non-compliance. That's their thing, right? But the problem is they may be doing the government's job for them. That's what worries me. I'm scared that what they're doing is making a list of undesirables. Not the rats, the people who are publicly stating. Like, I respect what they're doing. There's an Instagram page that's been set up now. I don't know who did it. It's basically, if you're one of these businesses, let us know and we'll share. Part of me is almost like, is this the fucking government? They found a way to get us. I'm just suspicious.
But now. You know what's funny is what's funny is that these businesses are the ones that are actually following the law. These businesses are the ones that are keeping it legal, that are not segregating, because these are not laws, right?
Know.
These are weird
mandates. Not, though.
The reason why it's being done this way is because it's not a law. So the government knows that, especially in a couple of months when shit starts calming down, they could get sued.
But people
to
are
the
getting
moon.
So angry.
So people are getting. So the government's like, I'm not gonna fuck you. This is illegal. You guys do it. This is up to you guys. You guys control it. So that if there's backlash, it's you guys. We wash our hands. And then same thing with
taking a page out of the Bible, Pontius Pilate.
That's what they're doing. Same thing if later if they figure out like, we overreacted. The reason why unvaccinated and vaccinated people were living so long together and there was no fucking issues, it's because it wasn't exactly what we were saying, right? They're going to say, we're just following what they told us. We thought it was the best case. We thought this was what we're supposed to do. Everyone's doing that. Everyone's passing the buck.
I need to acknowledge
that's a smart move. Just go back to what you're saying, Phil. I don't know if that's a smart move. Like, if I had a business and I didn't want to comply with the government, I just wouldn't, but I wouldn't go make it public. Hey, guys, by the way, you can get coffee here without your
I agree. I agree with you, George, because without wanting to,
business and someone showed up, I wouldn't necessarily go through the process of checking for the vaccine passport. I'd be like, "What's going on? Okay, you have your masks, the hand sanitizer, whatever procedures have existed."
Yeah. You're 100% right, because I agree with George. I think because I don't like anyone politicizing it, like Trudeau's trying to politicize it for votes.
I don't see the point. Like, why would you go out?
You're politicizing it by doing that.
Because a lot of these businesses are now getting massive support from people who wouldn't otherwise have gone there.
I don't want any support from anyone. I'm not going to politicize anything.
You're publicly asking for trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but sometimes you need to
run your business, do it the way you want, don't tell anybody, and whatever, you know?
How else do you make a stand? If you can't publicly announce what you're doing, and I understand what you guys are both saying. I completely understand.
So we won't turn away anyone here because
we're not affected by the mandate anyway.
No, but I'm saying we wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. It's not because of a mandate that I would or wouldn't do it.
Right.
It's because I have my convictions. I'm not going to turn you away for your vaccinations. I don't give a fuck, bro. First of all, I don't want to know. I don't care. I don't care. The reason why, like I said, most of us, most of everyone who's taking vaccines, most of us take vaccines to feel safe, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't give a shit what you're doing.
No, we're not even arguing about whether this makes sense. Yeah. I'm talking about just the fact that if people don't say they're going to do it, then everyone's just doing it, and the silent whatever it is.
I think everybody should shut the fuck up and do what they want to do. And I know a lot of restaurateurs that are like, "Fuck, I don't want to do this, bro. This is annoying. It's crippling." First of all, now you're asking me to make. We were already not making money. Now you're asking me to disallow half
resources for all these places.
What I've noticed is most of these places who are making stands fall into a very specific type of business. They're cafes, because restaurants, you're going in, you're sitting down.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, it's easy to spot if they're not doing it. Cafes, though, most people walk in, grab their coffee. Yeah. But technically, that's not even allowed.
No, it is allowed technically, because they said you're not allowed to. Even that's been missed. If you look at the thing, you're allowed to take stuff for takeout.
There's no dining in.
There's no dining in. You're not supposed to serve it.
So basically, I can walk into a restaurant, get a sandwich, and walk out.
You're supposed to, but the way they're making it sound is they say you're not supposed to serve them, which is crazy that we've come to this. By the way, the people that are saying, because I saw stuff on the internet because they were mad at Joe Rogan for surviving COVID. The people who say, for if you were unvaccinated, you should, I hope you die or shit like that. I'll just say one thing. Don't be surprised. I'm not even angry when I see comments like that. Like, what do I care? Like, if like
someone's an idiot.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's the same thing when people were saying, if you're vaxxed, whatever. I'm gonna tell you who said it after because it's one of your favorite people. But he thought that he got infected because of double vaxxers gave him double vaxxers have a mutation.
Who's this?
He's a Greekster that you love.
That I love.
Yeah. Well, love ironically.
Oh.
And he thought that that's why him and his friends caught COVID because a double vaxxer, this and that. So anyway, so they were asking questions.
Famous person or someone I know personally?
No, someone you know personally. It's not a famous person. And the best is, I was being grilled on how many vaccine shots you have. You bringing this shit? I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not how this works. But anyways, so we'll talk about
that is.
We'll talk about in a second. But the same people that are saying, I hope because there's people that are saying, I hope you die if you got vaccinated because you gave in, and I hope you die if you didn't get vaccinated. Both those people are the same person, and they're the same people that were beating up Asian people in the beginning and said, you're bringing COVID here. So whoever's out there saying, if you're not vaccinated, I hope you die, or if you got double vaccinated, I hope you die, I just want you guys to know you are the same person. It's the same person. The only reason why you weren't beating up Asians is a lot of you nerds can't fight.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're the same scumbags. They're like, I'm going to put the blame there. I'm going to put the blame here instead of taking care of yourself. It's the same fucking person, just so you know. It's the same person. So as soon as I see, because I saw messages, I have people that I follow that wrote that. And I have the exact opposite people. I have the people who said, if you're not vaccinated, you deserve to die. And the people who said, if you got the double shot, I hope that you catch something.
Unless someone is a fucking child molester, how can you wish bad on them?
You're both the people who started the whole Asian hate thing. You're the same person who was going beating up innocent Asian people because they were Asian. You said, you guys have coronavirus. It's the same fucking people. So I'm looking at it and I go, you guys are the same fucking dweebs. You don't need these people. Same people, yeah.
I want to just take a second because Poseidon didn't do his job.
Yeah.
And shout out here, you got Brodigan, who dropped $5.
Yeah, because
he wanted to know who has the dopest rhymes. Is it Drake or Poseidon?
Drake.
It's Drake. I mean, we all know it's Drake. That's money well spent, though. For that answer.
I just wanted to say something also. Also, the reason why the cops, because you mentioned the cops showed up at his business. The reason why also is because they got over 300 phone calls.
Yeah. Rats. They said the cops could have just seen it and made up a bunch of, we got 300 phone calls. We are here to check you out.
Yeah, that's true. But here's the thing.
But I believe that in that neighborhood, there's a bunch of self-righteous fucks.
But even if you got one phone call,
that makes more sense than the cops actually following social media feeds and like, oh, look what they posted.
No, they admitted. They said we got over 300 phone calls, so we came to see you. But not only is who's making these calls,
we know.
But if you don't like, let's say if you're a crazy person, again, you're one of these people that wants to beat up Asians because of coronavirus, because you're sick in the head, because these are the same people. They're the same person. Let's say you're at that level of psychosis. Psychosis, I'm saying. It's not even low intelligence. This is psychosis. Don't go to the places you don't like to go. Don't support the things you don't want to support. What do you care? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a jazz guy. I don't hate jazz, but I don't listen to a lot of jazz. When there's a jazz bar, I'm not going to call the cops and be like, they're doing jazz over there.
You don't like jazz?
No, I don't dislike jazz. It's just, it's not, I'm not going to go out. I'm just using it as an example because I just don't. There's all kinds of shit that happens around me that I'm not aware of. I don't go looking for things I don't like so I can then bitch about it.
Yeah, but look, there's a lot of people like that, man. So I mean, we're not gonna solve that problem.
Yeah, but don't forget the prime minister came out and said that these people, by the way, the prime minister, they're doing this to us. We have to stop them, but we should be united. We're all friends, but fuck them.
Yeah, I found something out yesterday. What the prime minister did in those speeches, why they're trying not to show the videos anymore, is what we consider hate speech here. He actually targeted a group. Yeah, and he actually pulled a Hitler, and that's why they're back, because I guess he got passionate. Hitler. Yeah, he actually
under the old fucking Hitler
he said
too.
Them, if you think you're gonna and all that, he creating you enemy because his buddies fucking caused this shit. So he creating you enemy. He what's it called? He identified a class of people in his society. He told them you're not gonna have the same rights. You're not gonna have the same. He literally pulled a Hitler. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of the prime minister, did you guys watch the debate yesterday?
He made people get angry at their neighbors, right? Yeah. And some people, like we say, they beat people up. Some people, So he did. That's legit.
Go Justin. And he plays his role really, really, really well as a former theater teacher. Like he's got experience.
Yeah, he was missing a little mustache. Go on, G.
The great dictator.
Yesterday there was the French debate. I don't know if you guys saw it at all.
No.
We did not. I saw the memes though of that French guy making that face. Yeah, him.
I really don't like that guy, by the way.
I don't care either.
He's very arrogant.
He's been this whole campaign, that's what they're attacking him on, the fact that he's very arrogant and that he has an attitude problem. I think personally Quebecers don't mind it, which is why he's probably feeding into it, and I'm sure he's playing into it. The other day I don't know if you guys saw that because he recruited Ensaf Badawi. She's the wife of Raif Badawi. The you know, that whole movement on getting him out of jail in Saudi Arabia.
I'm with the wife. I'm with him too. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's great. She's done fantastic work all over the world in terms of women's rights and all that stuff.
I like her, yeah.
And she got recruited in the Bloc Québécois. So the guy is announcing her candidature, and they want to ask her, the journalists want to question her on, you know, her positions on, you know, women's rights and all that stuff.
Yeah, and what a stupid question. So you fight for women's rights, right? You like women? Yeah. What's your position on women's rights?
Yeah, I know, but the thing is that they want to, because this is the whole issue came out after they wanted to ask her a question, and in the middle of the press conference, Yves-François Blanchet, he's like, listen, you can ask her questions in her own time. This is my press conference. We're announcing something. If you don't mind, just direct your questions on what we're announcing. And he was criticized, like, dude, the same day that you're announcing a woman who has been advocating for years for women's rights, when she's asked to speak, you kind of block her off. Yeah. What message does that send?
This is man time, lady. You sit over there in the corner.
So he's been criticized since then.
But I don't think, for the record, I don't know him well enough, but I don't think he's sexist or anything. I think he's just super arrogant, and everything has to be about him. I noticed from his eyes and his. You know what he looks like? Yeah, the crazy thing is, he has to wear a few $1,000 suits, makeup, all that, just to try to look average. That's what's hard about this guy that I feel bad for.
The funniest thing about this guy, and this is, I mean, I don't like that he's doing that, but I mean, it's election, and you know, you're gonna see the sensational stuff as well. The day after, when it's still being talked in the media, in that press conference, they're hammering him again on that, and you guys have to see the picture. He's leaning with his elbows on the podium, and as the journalist is asking questions about his attitude and him being arrogant, he's like,
yeah,
like it's like in your face. Anyway, the debate yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it. Nothing really exciting. No uppercuts. No, no big move. I don't think there was a clear winner. I think pretty much everyone is going to stay.
Did Jagmeet sing?
Jagmeet Singh was the only one that...
Did you meet him?
No, but did Jagmeet sing?
That's a great... I love that rom-com. It's my favorite.
Because that would have won him the whole...
Jagmeet Singh.
Yeah. No, but he's the only one that I felt that whether he was there or not wouldn't have made a difference. Like, he was completely absent. I don't know what the hell he was doing in that debate.
His head was already on the jet.
I have no idea what he was doing. Like, honestly, the debate was literally between Justin Trudeau, Yves-François Blanchet, and Erin O'Toole. I gotta say, man, Justin Trudeau held on pretty well. I thought he was gonna get attacked more violently, and I thought he was gonna lose his footing.
Like physically violently.
Say what you want about the guy, but we've seen this tremendous progress that he's done, especially in his communications since 2015, where it was just horrible to even watch. Even now, I mean, certain things that are off script are like very cringeworthy. But he did pretty well in the debate. He defended his points pretty steadily. He got hammered on launching the campaign now during COVID. Everyone went, and I think that's probably what hurt him the most. And you know, there wasn't a really. You know, there wasn't any uppercuts, but one of the shots was handed by Yves-François Blanchet, and he told him, you're doing a campaign at the wrong time, and chances are that there's going to be another minority government. And if you win another minority government, what would this have proven? Like, well, you did this for nothing, basically, right?
That's a good line.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, Yves-François Blanchet, guys, first of all,
you just wasted millions of dollars of taxpayer money for nothing.
His use of the French language is like at a masterful level compared to the other people. He's very eloquent.
I hope so.
He's the leader of the Bloc Québécois.
The leader of the Bloc Québécois is going to speak good French, or Jagmeet Singh? Who do you think?
No, I mean, look, compare him to Justin Trudeau. He's a francophone, but his level of French is really not.
Justin Trudeau is a malacaphone, bro.
Yeah. Oh, a malacaphone.
Anyway, so in that exchange, he slipped, and I'm telling you, this is probably going to be playing in the news the next couple of days. He slipped and he said, well, whatever the case is, chances are that there's going to be another election within another 18 months. So the guy suggested, like, if it's a minority government, guys, guess what? We're going into elections again in 18 months.
Why are we wasting our money on these people? You know how much taxpayer dollars goes into these fucking campaigns, bro?
It's over $600 million to run this campaign. So it's a lot of money.
Hey, let me ask you a question. So downtown are women's shelters, right? They're still underfunded. They still need things, okay? Mm-hmm. And yet we're spending $600 million to watch these guys jerk each other off on TV and fly around jets. Come on, guys. We fucked up somewhere along the line, guys. We got played. Yeah. We got played, man.
Look, guys,
I've
to
been
be
saying
honest
it for
with
years.
you, I don't look. I can understand the whole.
Whoa! Hold on. Christine's a woman, bro. Put her in the gulag, bro. We don't play that women shit here around. No, I'm joking. We'll come down.
He's like, yes.
Yeah, he's like, what? A woman?
Back in the kitchen.
Typing. Who taught you how to read?
No, but look, guys, it's a minority government. Everyone is freaking out. Every leader of the opposition knew that there's an election coming within 16 to 20 months from 2019, and for electoral purposes, they're gonna bash Justin Trudeau. Meanwhile, their coffers were full. All the money had been collected. Everybody knew that it's time to get to go. Right? Everyone was prepared for an election.
Hey, in times of peace, prepare for war. That's the strategy, sir.
When were we at peace?
Back to the debate. I think Justin Trudeau held on. I don't think he's gonna come out too damaged. Yves-François Blanchet was good as always. He didn't really attack the Liberals that much, and I have a feeling that the strategy is because he's seeing the Conservatives rise in the polls. He wants the Liberals to do well because the only risk he has is losing seats to the Conservatives and not the Liberals. Right. So I felt that he kind of went easy on Justin. He could have gone much harder, but he didn't. He attacked a lot more the Conservatives on the credibility of the contract that he came to announce, the contract for the Quebec for the province.
Of course he did. He's scared to lose seats to the Conservatives.
Exactly. Erin O'Toole was very careful. I'm not so sure if he did well. I don't think he did bad, but don't forget, French is not his main language. I think he came out okay out of this campaign. He got nailed though on the daycares, as well as the healthcare. The Liberals are going to attack him on this two-tier health system that they've been. You know how the Liberals were accused from Twitter for manipulating a video that.
Yeah. Because they lied. They said that he wants rich people to only have. First of all, you can't fight as let's say you're the Liberals. You can't fight a two-tiered approach when your approach is a zero-tiered approach.
So, you can't. But he can't come out and say that, right? Because he doesn't want to say that I support the private industry.
We need it. I had a long conversation with a nurse yesterday who I'm trying to get on the. She works in the ICUs. I'm trying to get her on the podcast. She's not saying anything bad. She just wants to talk about how it's that they're understaffed, underfunded, like the reality of how like a major hospital can't handle more than 15 beds. Can't handle more than 15 people, and then these are the real problems. But she's just waiting because she doesn't. The problem is even if you're saying the truth, you can still get in trouble with know how it is the government and all that. So that's what she's waiting on. But I'm just saying everybody's ignoring the doctors and the nurses. They've been ignoring them for years. They only listen to them when they're fanatics. They only want to listen to you if you're a doctor that says, I won't accept you if you're not vaccinated, or if you're a doctor that says the vaccination is the devil. They only listen to you if you're saying extremes so they could cause a stir. But all the people that are realists are just talking about the middle. They're like, look, I think it's preferable if, from what I see, if you guys get double vaccinated, there's less double vaccinated people in here. I think the real problem isn't even vaxxed or unvaxxed. It's the fact that we can't handle 15 fucking people. They don't want to hear about it. They don't want, because you can't fight that. You could fight sensationalism, right? Because you're like, oh, it's not true. The vaccine is not the devil, or it's not true. Unvaccinated people are not killing everyone. So you can always fight sensationalism, but you can't fight the truth. So they don't let these people fucking talk, bro.
And it also doesn't lead well. Like as a headline, moderate doctor makes moderate statement.
Not moderate statement. Logical. Realistic doctor makes real statement. There's a huge problem, dude. Let's say what we discussed yesterday was this. Let's say right now we're having trouble. We think we're coming to the tail end of this, but maybe not, because the vaccines are starting to show that maybe they're not as effective as long as they could. Now, yesterday I heard talks in the States. They were saying that maybe what needs to happen with the Pfizer and Moderna is you get 3 shots a year and you move on with your life, but every year, which is a lot of money for these companies, which is why it's suspicious. I feel like you make something stronger. Anyways, so that happens. Even with that, that means that we're not fully out of this if we're talking about 3 shots a year.
Yeah, no.
What if something else hits us? okay, this escaped from the lab, fucking Fauci's people, they screwed us over, they're never going to pay for it, but whatever. What if something natural happens, something evolves, a new kind of Ebola? What if we have to fight in Canada 2 things at once?
I mean, realistically, we will in a couple of weeks.
No, but 2 things, yeah, realistically, when things get, yeah. But
when the influenza comes
2
back.
things last year it said it didn't exist.
That's nonsense. It's going to be back.
So 2 things at once, 2 major things at once. What the fuck do we do when our nurses, there's 3 of them, and there's like, the 3 of us, and there's 20 people. And already that's too much. You know what I mean? There's 3. What are we going to do when there's not enough doctors, not enough nurses, not enough beds? And we're battling more problems than right now.
Yeah, I think everybody understands that there's a problem with the health system, and that topic actually came out yesterday in the debate about the transfers to the provinces to increase the funding, and that was an interesting debate as well. Look, there's certain positions that still aren't clear, like Erin O'Toole. He promises 60 billion in Quebec over 10 years, and he says that we're going to be increasing the budget 6% every year, but he's not committing to whether or not he's going to allow the $35 billion transfers that each province is asking for. So he's not going there. He's just sticking to his gun and saying it's going to be 6% a year, and we're going to increase it 60 billion within 10 years. This is the one thing, and I'm not so sure how that's going to play out in the coming weeks about Erin O'Toole. He is sticking to his guns. Like, he's very well, coached in terms of his platform. He just repeats the same thing. He's very careful not to make a mistake. The only thing that I'm suspecting is at some point, while his adversaries are going to keep hammering, what is your position? Say it clearly. And him repeating the same lines, I wonder if that down the line is going to hurt him and make people aware that, dude, okay, give an answer finally. I'm not so sure. We'll see. I just feel that what this debate did was kind of restart the campaign. So I think this is kind of like the day one now. Forget about everything that happened. The Liberals lost 20 points. It's kept steady for about a week now at about a 5-point split between the Conservatives and the Liberals. I feel like now is like this new beginning of the campaign, and from here on, things might shift or not. We don't know, but I feel like this is now the actual first day of the campaign, this is where the leaders are going to have to be very careful with what they say, how they conduct themselves.
So in terms of right now, George, everybody, whatever they've said, what they're planning, the campaign, the platform, the Conservatives, I like their platform. My issue now is, let's say they win a minority. Can they even get half that stuff done in a minority? So we fall back into, oh, fuck, that's nice, but can you even practically do it?
Yeah, it depends who's there. Because look, if for example the Conservatives win a minority government with a strong Bloc Québécois opposition, maybe they will. But
do you think the Bloc would? Because this guy Yves Blanchette seems very arrogant. I don't know if he wants to concede anything, even if it's good for the country.
No, that's not true. Yves-François Blanchette, in fact, he's been criticized for not talking about sovereignty, and he came out and said, listen, I'm not going to talk about sovereignty because it's not a pressing issue now in Quebec. So we need to look at what's happening in Quebec. We're there to represent that voice in Ottawa, and if the people in Quebec aren't talking about sovereignty, where the hell should I?
Oh, I didn't hear that. That's actually a fucking big
George,
dick energy move.
What's the biggest what's the number, like the most seats they've ever won, the Bloc? Do you know?
The Bloc has they've won, don't forget that under Chrétien they were the official opposition, so
which is kind of hilarious if you think about it.
Chrétien was smart.
I can't remember how many seats, but it wouldn't surprise me if they've had maybe in the 50s. They were the official opposition, and they were also the official opposition under Harper.
When I was young, when I was young, the Bloc was big.
With Gilles Duceppe. I don't know if you guys remember Gilles Duceppe.
Yeah,
and I remember going into high school and not realizing. Because to me they were big, the Bloc, and I remember getting to high school. I think it was when I went to visit my cousins in Alberta when I realized that you can't vote for them outside of Quebec.
No.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, wait a second, but it's a federal, and I was trying hard to grasp.
Such a crazy concept.
Yeah, to grasp my mind. Like the Bloc.
It's crazy.
There's a maximum that they could reach because all their seats can only come from Quebec.
But Quebec is massive.
They have no representatives
seats, right?
to represent them in Ontario, or because they were a sovereignist party, right? So they have no, but they still got a lot of seats. But I mean, you could only vote even, let's say in Alberta, you're like, you know what? I fucking like what the Bloc is saying. I want to help him out. You don't have any representatives there.
But you know what's interesting, right? Alberta created their own party, the equivalent of the Bloc Québécois. It's called Maverick or something like that.
That's a much better name in terms of marketing.
Maverick is cool, but
So yeah, but Yves-François Blanchet has made it very clear, and he's going to support whatever is in the best interest of Quebecers. That's the voice he wants to represent. And I feel that with a with a conservative minority, especially with that contract that they came out to announce for Quebecers, I think there could be an interesting coalition with the Bloc Québécois. So
are we ever going to? Is there going to be a documentary?
At the same time, there's worry now over at the Bloc Québécois because the only party that can maybe win their seats is the Conservative, not the Liberals, not the NDP. So
they need to fight now to maybe get along later.
He's a tough spot, Yves-François Blanchet, I think. We'll see how that happens. But basically what I was saying is that, for me, there wasn't a clear winner in the debate. I think they're all pretty much where they left off. And from this point forward, it's kind of like a new beginning. So maybe Justin Trudeau will be able to turn the ship around. He knocked O'Toole out a lot with the transfer payments for the daycare services. We've spoken about that. He has a $30 billion plan to get affordable daycare service across Canada. He signed a blank check to Quebec for $6 billion over 5 years because Quebec already has their daycare service. Problem is that it's unconditional, which means that nobody knows if that money is actually going to serve for daycares or if Premier Legault is going to use that money for something else.
He's going to use it for the fucking language police, bro.
I don't know what he's going to use it for, but and this is the ironic thing because Justin Trudeau made a huge stink about this debate about the Conservatives wanting to cut that program. First of all, you haven't given any money yet, so you see how it is. Like I'm announcing $30 billion for this project. The Conservatives are going to remove it, dude. There's nothing been given yet.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to remove anything. Nothing is in place yet. But
But these are campaign promises,
not
George.
They're going to keep that program or if they're going to fund it differently. And Aaron O'Toole's answer is very iffy. Like he doesn't like. He says he supports it. He wants affordable daycare service, but his approach is more one of we will give a tax credit to the families so they can do what they want with their money.
But is that bad?
Look.
To be honest, now that I think about it, I prefer this approach of I'm giving you the money, I'm giving you the tax break, you're an adult. If today the money's better suited for this, if tomorrow's better, you make the decision as opposed to this allowance of you can go here, you have food stamps, you can go here.
Yeah,
I prefer this.
The problem from the Liberal side is that you're not really solving. You're not really creating a solution. Whereas us, we're giving that money and we're saying we're going to create daycares. There it is.
You're not creating daycares. They're not going to create daycares. They're giving the money direct to daycare. But it's like saying you're going to go to the store now. You want the money to pay for it yourself. Maybe you'll decide to buy something else, or we'll pay the store directly and then you get there and you pick it up. What's the fucking difference?
This is the ideological shift between the Liberals and the Conservatives. The Conservatives are like, give me more money in my pocket and I'll decide what to do with it. It's going to give me.
Look, man, if you're an adult, if I like the fact that because Trudeau does the whole babying, I'm going to decide for you. I don't like that. We're adults in a society.
It depends who you speak to also. I mean, certain people want the government to invest in actual infrastructure.
I know, but certain people don't want to make any
give me the opportunity to send my kids there. That's what the Liberals
But the Liberals can't. The Liberals won't build new daycares. The Liberals can't build new daycares. No, but you know how new businesses
jurisdiction, they're going to fund it.
But here's the thing.
Specifically for that program.
You want to build new daycares?
It's unconditional.
You want to build you want to build new businesses, any business at all. You need to support individual people to have more money in their pocket so that they can build things. If someone is tight, he's paying his taxes, he's paying his rent, he has his kids' food, all that stuff, and he's got $3 left over, if that, every week, every 2 weeks, he's not building a business. There's no new businesses. There's no small, medium business. If we continue like this right now, and even this with the new sanction of the passport, if we and mom and pop shops don't make enough money and they start slowly closing down, all we're going to have left are McDonald's, Amazon, all that, because they don't give a shit. They can militarize and have 3 bouncers checking your shit, and they don't care. They're still going to make the money. They're going to do takeout. You're going to get rid of all the small businesses. You're going to have all these big ones left, and then in 10 years, we're going to complain. Montreal, there's no more restaurants now. It's like the States. It's like, everybody complains. It's just like Laval. It's just big stores. Big box names.
Toronto.
Yeah, it's just French Toronto basically. Why did that happen? Because you have to support regular people. You have to support small businesses. That's what gives us character. And that's what makes the economy go round too.
I'm curious to see how because now there's the English debates coming up, and obviously
should we stream them here? You want to come, George? Me, you, and Poseidon. Maybe Phil comes too. We do instead of a morning show, we do a night show, and we watch it and stream talk.
Morning show after dark.
If I'm available, I will. I'll check the dates. There's some evenings that I'm way too busy, but we can discuss that. We'll try and figure something out. It will be fun, actually.
I hope Jagmeet wins.
The English debate, I think, is going to be much different because, first of all, most of them are much more eloquent in English.
Jagmeet Singh.
Maybe that's what's going to give Aaron O'Toole that opportunity to create that edge that he's been looking for.
I mean, George, we're discussing something that literally, 10-20% of all of Canada was able to enjoy and watch.
Oh, the French debate?
Yeah, but...
which is a travesty, again.
No, I'm not getting into that.
But don't forget, Quebec plays a huge role. We're talking about a huge amount of seats that you can go get. It's important, the Quebec debate, because you win over Quebec, it could make a huge difference in your
to win you the election.
I don't disagree, but they're going to say different stuff in every debate.
Yeah, across Canada, nobody gives a shit. But it's specifically for Quebecers, and every leader wants to do that. Every leader
That's
wants
why
to
the rest of Canada hates us, because we get special treatment.
I'm going to say something to everyone out there. Forget the parties.
Yeah.
Vote for what essentially platform is going to be best for your life, for your wallet, all that stuff. Forget the parties. For example, I hate communists, but that Jack Layton kid back in the day had won me over. That was, I guess, the closest to we're not communists, we're social democrats. I like Jack Layton. He seemed to legitimately care about people. You know what I mean? And the NDP won over a lot of people, and that guy was something special. Okay, that guy was honestly something special. He would have my vote. Imagine. I was like, okay, this is good for the country. This is good for the people.
Yeah.
Sadly, what he built was spat on more and more. And now we got to the guy who doesn't give a fuck about what Jack Layton wanted with that party. So it's meaningless. Because a lot of people go, I'm voting for the NDP because I love Jack Layton. I love Jack Layton too, but it's not his party anymore. This is something completely different, right?
Honestly, some days I wake up, I look at Twitter and I see Jagmeet Singh, and I was like, it's like I forgot. I'm like, how is this guy in charge of a party?
Same thing with the liberals. I've been a lifelong, as most Greeks, a lifelong liberal.
No, I mean, I can see Trudeau.
I voted for Trudeau the first time too. He lost me the last time when I abstained. I was like, fuck this shit. This guy's losing his mind, It's not about having a party and you always have to vote for that party. Vote for what's best for your country, you personally, your wallet, your people around you. Right now, I don't know how the debates are going to end. Right now, it seems like for most people that want to work, want to have less taxes, so far the platform is the conservative one. My fear is that they win, but they get a minority. And then that's what I was telling George. And then a lot of the stuff that we're waiting to breathe, we're waiting for some tax, the stuff that we want to breathe with, we don't get because they can't pass.
Because they don't have the power.
And then we're stuck kind of where we were in the same hole. That's what I'm worried about, is that people think there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it gets smacked. That's what I'm mostly nervous about.
You can pull it off. It's not easy. I think the Conservatives under Harper had a minority government. I can't remember when, and he almost went 4 years. I think he did 3 or something like that.
But that wasn't Aaron O'Toole. That was Stephen Harper. That's not the same situation.
Absolutely not. But look, the good thing about Aaron O'Toole, from what I saw yesterday, was that he has his composure, his body language. He was smiling. He seemed a lot more prime ministerial.
He is seeming to be. I make fun of the guy for being a goofy bitch, but he has been seeming the last couple of weeks a bit more presidential, I shall say. And I like that he's a bit more composed, but I don't care about any of that shit because, even Trudeau, when I voted for Trudeau didn't seem presidential. I voted for Trudeau because I felt like, we need to change. I feel like we need to recycle. Every couple of years, we got to keep these bitches in check.
You voted for him because the trend was we need the change. So, who represents the change? This guy over here. Now, people are looking for stability. People are looking for phase 2. We need to restructure.
Yeah.
We need to get things back in order. Who do we trust now, right? And that's where he's playing. So the image does count. Yeah. And so far, that's what I see in Aaron O'Toole. Again, I think the English debates are going to be major. And from now until then, I don't see many things shifting. I have a feeling that people are waiting for those debates maybe to make a decision. So we'll see how things play out. It'll be interesting. Anyway.
I can't wait. You know who would win right now? Any one of them would win if they would do what I would do if I was ever running like that. Because if I was ever running and I ever wanted to be prime minister, I would not want to spend 4 years or 2 years just arguing I'll do that on the stage in comedy and on podcasts. But when I'm there, people are paying me to work for them. I can't handle it. So what I would do is look, this is the plan. When I win, because I'm fucking badass, I'm going to win. This whole stuff is over. What we're going to do is when I win, I'm going to have my guys who are very good at finance. They're going to be in charge of that shit, right? And then I'm gonna go to the liberals. I'm gonna ask them, you guys, you like social programs? You were trying to build something for the indigenous people. Let's talk. We'll bring that to the table. I'm not gonna disagree with it just because it's liberal. I want your best ideas. Let's do it. You know, so go to the block and be like, what do you guys need? Yeah, what do you guys need for Quebec? Let's fucking work together. We're one. Let's make it happen. NDP, you have any suggestions on TikTok videos? Let us know. We'll probably do that kind of shit. Like, I would go to everyone's strengths, you know, and because we're one country. That's what I would do. This whole he's a fucking. It's like, guys, man.
But that's partisan politics. Like that's the problem with our system. Like that's one of many problems.
Yeah. Also the green. Look, the green. We don't talk about them anymore because they're nonsense. But I'd be like, I know a lot of your shit is
talking about Swamp Thing.
No, I know a lot of your shit is fanatical. But honestly, though, tell us. You've been looking at this longer than anyone. That's all you care about. Where can we make substantial, legitimate changes, not by murdering babies, legitimate changes in the way we do things? Bring us these ideas.
And what about the PPC?
Oh, the PPC, you would ask them too on social stuff. So here's the thing about the PPC.
Well,
so
they're not there, right? They're not in the house.
They're not in the house. But you would ask them. They're a political party. You would fucking ask them. You'd be like, okay, what do you guys... And maybe they would say the whole, I don't know, maybe it's the passport or the border, something. You could take something from everyone.
Use everyone as a consultant.
You use everyone as a consultant. You work together. You technically speaking, it doesn't matter that I won. Because we're all going to win in this together because it's one country. Let's try to work this whole... That's good for us, I know, but Trudeau wanted it, so fuck him. Or that's good for us, but the Conservatives wanted it, so fuck him. Like right now, the economy, it's good for us to have a 10-year plan to get the fuck out of this debt. This is crazy. This is crazy debt, right? You can't be like, no, I want more debt because the Conservatives wanted us out of debt and I'm a liberal, so I want us to be in debt. That's crazy talk. That is crazy talk.
I'll be right back.
Speaking of the vaccine passport,
bacon, yes, bacon half price.
By the way, before we continue, George, I'm looking at the polls at 338 Canada now. The conservatives are in the lead for seats.
Yeah, no, just under 6%. They have just under 6 points lead. Look, guys, this is huge. First of all, and I've told you guys this before. I have never seen that big of a drop. We're talking about 18 points, 18, 19 points, depending on the polls that were polling. Never seen that happen. For a party leading an election to lose that much and to lose it in a week. It's significant. It's huge.
I have a funny story about an elderly couple.
It brings everyone back on kind of like on an equal playing field. And that's what I'm saying. This debate pretty much resets this whole campaign. And they're starting from scratch with the Conservatives in the lead about 5 points. And again, it's negligible. 5 points in an election is negligible.
It's negligible, but I'm telling you, you saw when the points started to go down. The points started to go down when Trudeau decided to give Mein Führer speeches. Canadians, dude, no matter what you think, they'll call us pussies. Canadians don't like that kind of shit, dude. Canada is that place of, freedom. Any hints of shit like that, whether it's they want to separate you by your color, vaccinate, whatever, man, women, deep down inside, Canadians don't like that type of shit. They don't like that type of rhetoric because they don't want to turn this into other countries that we know that have such divisive politics. They don't like that.
Yeah, and the other thing is that they're not very vocal about it.
They're not vocal about it, but they don't like it.
I want to know what is the silent, is it a silent majority? Is it a silent minority? Like, this is what's interesting to me. Because,
but you know where the shift happened? The shift didn't even happen from... The shift happened, George?
Conservatives, and their internal numbers, the polling that they're doing internally in that number, has them way above 6% or 5%, whatever it is now. So we don't know what's going to happen. And, look, everyone is calling for a conservative minority. Some people wouldn't be surprised that he pulls off a majority, maybe a small one, like a very weak majority government. Anything can happen. And what I think is going to make the difference is those people that we don't hear about. It's that silent group of people. Where are they? And from what we're seeing, I don't think that they're in the liberal camp.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can't give too much away, but an elderly couple in TMR had said, anyways, because I have one of the candidates that came on, but I was talking about a couple who said, this fucking house is never going to vote for anything other than liberal until now, and they said, we need a change. We don't like where everything's headed, economically wise, and also the divisive politics. And these are, when I say elderly couple, I'm saying that there's a reason why I'm naming
the demographic
their age,
that traditionally votes liberal.
But it's also people who have made it, this is my party no matter what. And even them, they're like, no. This is getting out. The country's changing in a bad way. This is getting out of hand. We got to start fixing some shit.
But
so to show you people that are so committed to the partisanship to still be like, no, for the greater good, I got to put my bullshit aside and vote for what's best for the country. That's huge. That to me is always like, okay, yeah, I got to stop being, you got to stop being partisan as much as you can. If you care about the country, you care about the greater good.
No.
I just really needed more coffee. Sorry.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. But speaking of the rights and the passport, the vaccine passport, I don't know if you guys read it the other day. Premier Doug Ford caved in, in Ontario.
Of course he caved in, bro. He's not Rob Ford.
He's going to be implementing the vaccine passport. It will take effect at the end of the month on the 22nd of September, I think. His lines were, listen, we got to follow what the other provinces are doing, for the safety.
Because that's really what you want your leader to be saying. We got to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, except for the countries that did it before us and then stopped doing it because they realized it was stupid.
The only one so far is Jason Kenney in Alberta, who just pretty much, I think he was just seconds away of saying fuck off, but he didn't. He kept his composure. He's like, fuck off. You're not getting any information from Albertans. We're not going to do that.
But you know what's weird is he keeps saying that, and this is what I find, and I'm not trying to talk shit about the guy. I've never met him. But he keeps saying the information thing. I'm not going to give you information. I'm not going to give you information. Forget the information part, dickhead. Why aren't you fighting it based on the fact that it's illegal and it's unconstitutional? Why don't you fight it based on that? Why are you fighting it based on the... That's what bugs me. It's like, say the truth.
People want.
But
say the truth.
That's what... No, but he said that too.
But George, it's such a non-statement. He's saying we're not going to give the information of Albertans to the federal government, but Albertans have to give it to the provincial government.
That's kind of what he's saying. Yeah,
he was a finance minister, right?
Sorry?
He's the finance minister, right?
No. Jason Kenney is the premier of Alberta. He used to be
under Harper.
immigration.
Immigration, right. Okay, so maybe he's good at picking who's desirable, right? Maybe he's good at that. But leading the province, the idea that the provincial government is any different than the fucking federal government.
Same shit.
It's the same shit. You used to be the federal immigration minister, and now you're like, fuck the federal government. Come on, man. Like, and people are fucking cheering him on for being some kind of freedom fighter. Like, I'm not going to give it to the feds.
And, to be honest, I don't. The information that the app has, me and Phil were testing it with our apps the other day. I don't mind because
we were docking our apps.
Yeah, but what was it? It was your name, whether you're sufficiently
your name, your birth date, and the dates of your vaccinations, like what they were.
Yeah, I don't really care about that shit. I don't like the fact that somebody could hack in very easily. It's a shitty app and all that. However, it's not information that. Like, oh my God, I wouldn't. Me, it's on principle. Even if it was just my first name, it's just on principle, I'd be like, fuck you, I don't want to give you anything.
Even if it was a number, even if it was just a random sequence of numbers that only I and the government could identify with some kind of encryption.
Mauricio, we only downloaded the app so we could test it. Even if I'm triple vaxxed, I don't believe in the app thing, this and that. It's
we're talking.
I don't like the passport.
We were using the verification app, Mauricio.
I could get 5 vaccinations. I wouldn't be for the passport.
Which, by the way, the app in Quebec has only 500,000 downloads. That's another thing I find suspicious. It only has 500,000 downloads on the App Store of Google Play, and only about 500,000 on the App Store of iPhone.
People, dude, everybody underestimates Canada and Quebecers. How much everybody thinks Americans love freedom. Canadians love fucking freedom.
So there's 1 million downloads?
No, about
together?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that information?
I searched it up yesterday. I did some quick maths. And also...
so guys...
Hold on.
And a lot of people downloaded it like me and Phil just to fuck around and test, and we deleted it.
And
I just wanted to see the privacy statement.
Because a million downloads is not a small number.
Well, compared to the amount of people who are vaccinated in the group age.
Yeah, and also there's 8 million people in this province, bro. It's a very small number.
So let's say there's about 5 million people vaccinated, right, in the age group that will download the app, that knows how to use a phone. That's 5 million people. So you tell me only 1/5 of those people downloaded the app,
and a shitload of us downloaded it to test it.
Don't forget that this app allows for like a family. Like I know my wife I don't have it. My wife downloaded and she has everything on it. She has mine.
You
can put all of them. She has my mother-in-law and my father-in-law.
I like how George. He's like, I'm not gonna get tracked by the government, woman. Listen, you're South American. You're used to this. You do it.
But we're already being tracked.
It's not one download, one person.
He's right.
I understand.
But a lot of people download it to test. Because I'm not the only one who does it. Everybody, I know people, not just you, that just download it just to fuck around. Be like, how the fuck does this shit work? And then delete it.
Hold on, George. What are you gonna do if you want to go somewhere without your wife?
He doesn't go anywhere without his wife. That's why he's locked up in the basement. Those doors locked from the outside.
Let's say
so we can't let people like George, who don't make moves or muscles until their spouse approves it. We can't let these people dictate our future.
But guys, first
I
of
will
all,
not stand for the pussy whip to
to
lead.
answer Poseidon, you don't need your vaccination passport to go to places. You just need a proof of vaccine and an ID card. And what they did is that they made the app so it could be easier for you to just show it. But if you walk into a restaurant and you show your
could
QR
print out the
code
paper. Scan that.
with
I thought you needed
whatever.
No, you don't need to have it. It's a way to
Okay.
facilitate it.
The email that
misunderstood,
you
I'm sorry.
get. So I told everyone who doesn't want to download the app, and they shouldn't. You could still go sit down, eat places. Just your email, scan it, like just print it out and take it with you. That's all you need.
And it's,
But I don't fucking. I like the restaurants like the guy on Jerry who said, "Fuck that shit. I'm not segregating my customers. Only takeout from now on. Fuck you people. I'm not doing this."
There's also a hamburger place.
I'm
that
gonna
did
start
it.
checking people. What's your status? He goes, I don't give a fuck. He goes, first of all, my staff's not even like. It doesn't make any sense.
I spoke to one of the guys yesterday. I reached out to him, and he's like, when can you? I'm like, when can we have a conversation in person? Like, I'll come in, I'll have a coffee, whatever. And he's like, look, man, you gotta come either really, really early or really, really late. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, we have fresh baked goods and coffee and food. And I'm the only guy here. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, the place has been around for a long time.
People don't want to work now.
He's like, I can't find employees. The idea of fucking scanning people now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, fuck, okay. Like, he wanted me to go at 10. I was like, I'm live on the show. He's like,
Go at night.
I'm sorry. He's not there. I mean, yeah, I guess I could go at night. No, I'm going to go early one morning before his rush, and we'll have a conversation. Like, I don't know. I think these stories of, like... because it's civil disobedience to some extent. These stories are interesting. I'm not saying I'm for people saying it. I'm not saying I'm against it. I just think they're interesting stories. Like that's that reel I shared yesterday, George, that you brought up earlier. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to make like some propaganda piece about let's fight I just think it's interesting in this day and age that there are still people willing to. They've lost so much, and they're willing to risk whatever's left because like this isn't right.
Yeah, I like
respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that
Because a lot of people, they have nothing left to lose.
No. The people that have something
They
left
have
to
just
lose,
enough left
just
to
enough
lose.
to lose. Yeah, that now they're gonna be, but they still risk it for what's right. Because can I say that I would do the same thing? I don't know that you know what I mean? You don't know until you're put in that position.
I mean,
that
think
you
about
can do
what I just said. I literally just created a situation where if they come after me for doing this, I'm like, no, I was just telling stories.
Yeah.
I was just telling
You
stories.
see, he found a way to weasel out,
I'm a
but
weasel.
the other people didn't. It's very hard. It's easy to say you would do the same thing, but you don't know. I don't
You
know
don't
that I
know,
would do the
yeah.
same thing.
I mean, I got kids.
Yeah.
I got fucking.
So
well, I
that
don't got a
should
mortgage, but
that's commendable. But we have to stop just accepting. Yes, because dude, every time the government fucks up, all they say is, we didn't know. We thought it was the best thing to do. It was our fuck up, and there's never any repercussions. And that's what it looks like is happening now when they're dividing people, they're fucking up the economy.
You know what
it
upsets
looks
me?
like they're gonna say the same thing. And if Trudeau is gonna be interviewed in 10 years, they're like, you fucked
At
up
the
Canada,
time,
and
we
you said
thought-
stuff that wasn't real. It was against science. He's like, well, that's what we were told at the time, so I did the best decision based on what I. That's all they always say.
and he'd be telling the truth technically.
He would be telling the truth,
Guys,
yeah.
Before you guys go on, because I got to run.
Oh, come on, G. We love you.
Yeah,
What
I
happened?
got-
Did your wife slide
let's,
food under the
let's
table
look
to the
into
door?
That, next week, we'll look at the thing of the debate. I think it's gonna be fun if we do it live.
Yeah, I think it'll be funny.
It's
Yeah.
September 9th from 9 to 11.
We should set up in the main
There's
studio.
two, guys. There's two. There's 8 and 9. I think September 8
Let's
and 9.
do it,
So,
baby
I
boy.
have a couch coming in next week.
Let's do it.
got a free
yeah,
couch.
The English one is on the 8th, and the French one is on the 9th, I think.
He's going off memory, so we'll check. You guys can
Anyways,
check, and it'll get
we'll check.
announced.
We'll discuss. It'll be fun. All right, gotta run.
All right,
Take care.
George.
Later, G. We love you.
Guten Tag.
George, head over to George's website. Links are in the description. The Backstage podcast is up and running, and so is Just Us Dads. Just Us Dads currently working on a weight loss competition. The 3 dads are facing off. Which one of those fat sons of bitches is going to lose the most weight? Very exciting stuff. It's kind of like the Olympics,
How?
but more gay. Yeah, so Just Us Dads. Check it out, guys. George Andrizos in the chickadee chat.
Goodbye, Georgie. Peace. Dobra dev, Georgie.
Yeah, it is. Don't basically, people. I feel like Shia LaBeouf. Don't let them divide you. For real, don't let them divide you with this nonsense. Dude, I've been watching for 2 days now because I've been trying to talk to my mom about what she sees on the news and all that shit. Because I'm like, why does this lady have so much fear and this and that? And then I realized that everything she watches, because she just watches whatever's available on TV, and I have her all the channels, the Greek channels. The problem is, it's all the same narrative. You know this, right? It's all fixed. So every channel she watches, whether it's in Canada or in Greece, it's always, this is how you know a lot of it is fake too. It's similar stories, but this one happened in Greece, this one happened in Montreal, this one, you get it, but it's the same stories that keep, all around the world, it's the same shit that keeps, it's the same news source, right? So everything to her
I have a
is,
story about that after.
everything to her is
Holy shit.
Yeah, holy shit, and and I'm like, it's not really like that outside. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to perpetuate that. Yeah. But if you take a step back, and I was like, what the fuck are they doing? They're scaring the shit out of people. So they're coercing every decision you make. You get it?
Because this has been going on.
You're making all your decisions based on fear now. You're not making any rational decisions.
Yeah, no, shit's getting wild out here.
I mean, fear in and of itself can lead to rational decisions, right?
Not when it's
but not when the information that causes the fear is not objectively true.
Thank you.
Like, it's a slippery slope, man. It really is. And I mean, I was watching the news this morning. I stopped to get coffee on St. Roch.
What a sexy kid. Does he let you in? What's the story?
I don't go in anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need to. I show up and there's coffee waiting for me. He sees me pulling up. I get Spielberg, and they're like, "What's up? Here's your coffee." But there was this guy who, I mean, I've seen him before. He must be in his 50s. I've spoken to him a handful of times. I'm sure you've seen him too. I really don't know who he is. I found out today from like the nonsense he was saying that he was a police officer when he was living in Greece.
Oh, nice.
So he's going on about how like this is not really news for the news morning show. Like it's very local.
It's anecdotal.
News. No. I mean, it was a news headline in Greece, but like Mikis Theodorakis died.
Yeah.
One of Greece's biggest living. Well, not living anymore.
So let's say something just quickly about him.
Yeah.
So not only is he a Greek legend,
yes.
So he was, by all accounts, if you want to say, a card-carrying communist.
Oh, by all accounts.
Not really though. He was a super Democrat. I would, because he was different. He was but this is a guy that
he was
I
a member
love.
of the Communist Party.
I get what you're saying, but his politics, like I said, he was a member of a party.
He was a social democrat.
He was a social democrat more than anything.
He was a very progressive.
This is a guy. Again, this is why the party lines don't matter. He's a legend to everyone.
Everyone loves
people even on the right in Greece still like, oh, this guy's a patriot. You get it? So that's why I'm saying, don't fall. You want to be a good you want to be a fucking hero. Don't fall for these partisanship. Do what's best for you in the country.
I've seen him, like, I love Theodoraki as a figure, as an idea. I love the body of work that he left. I think it's super important and it's a huge part of the modern Greek identity, like contemporarily speaking. But I remember during the referendum for the crisis, when they were voting on what was it? Should they accept another on the second memorandum to get more austerity?
Yeah.
And Greece voted no, and then the prime minister said, "Yeah, we're going to do it anyways. We're going to disregard you." He came out, made a bunch of great statements, and then I can't remember exactly. I think he flew the Greek Communist Party flag. And I was like, "What are you doing? You just made this great bipartisan statement," and everyone came out like, "The communists are trying in Europe. They're like the communists are trying to not pay their debts." I'm like, "What are you doing?"
He shouldn't have brought in communism.
I actually got the memory of it on Facebook where I was like, "Look what happened. He politicized the movement, and it's dead, and it died after."
That's what happened to Trudeau. Dude, Trudeau was 20 points ahead, and then he politicized the vaccines again and COVID, and people are like, you know what? Fuck this guy.
The only way to move forward, man. Like we're all trying to fucking run the same country. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're right about that. But yeah, so Theodorakis,
I want some, dude.
A living legend.
I would love to see if it happens this year. If some politician wakes up.
No, you can't.
At the debates, he goes, "What are we debating? Look, if I fucking win this, what we're gonna do? I want someone to say that. Oh my god, what are we debating?
That's never gonna happen.
It'll never happen because the system is not built for. It's not built for progress. It's not built for change. It's not built for maintaining a healthy economy. It's built for people to get elected and become fucking career. You okay? Career politicians.
I will have to someday run for politics.
I wasn't talking about
communism, bipartisan.
Oh yeah, so I'm on at the cafe and a Greek American rapper died also.
Yeah, I saw that.
A mad clip. Good music.
He got drunk and drove.
He was racing. He was street racing. So he died. He was 34 years old. So huge tragedy. I mean, the Greek rap community is like sad about it, mourning him. Yeah. And then you have the Greek nation doing 3 official days of mourning for Theodorakis. And this guy now at the cafe, he's going, "Can you believe it?" I go, "What do you mean?" He died on the exact same day, at the exact same time as Pantelis, the guy who died a few years ago.
Oh, fuck, Pantelis? Did he?
Yeah. So I'm like, is that true? Like, I can't confirm that. I have to check. I was like
not
he
true.
Goes, "They got to both of them." I was like, what? I go, one guy was like a folk singer. He didn't have any
One guy's 107 years old.
No, not Theodoraki. Madclip and the other Pantelis.
Oh, I thought he said Theodoraki was the same time as
Madclip has made some political statements. The other guy never did. He was like,
Padli.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Padli.
Really?
Yeah, he was for the people too.
This whole changes.
Yeah, Padli was actually, he was a big Ike fan. What's up? What's going on? Family. Me and him, we fams. And he was super, dude, he was helping all kinds of people. He was super against the government, apparently. Like the austerity government. You know, he was for Greece.
Anyone who's not an idiot
he was a good dude. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know that. It recontextualizes the exchange slightly. But he
Plus,
was basically
most
telling me
Athens.
how
AEK Athens, for the record, is a super leftist club.
I mean, most of the soccer clubs are.
No.
Except for Olympiacos.
Yeah. The super right wing.
The guys in red.
Yeah. No, but AEK are like my big clash with the organized supporters has always been that their politics are blindly, atrociously left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm, that's the team I love. That's my soccer family.
To my point.
I'm just saying I don't mind that because I love the organization. I love what it stands for.
I understand that. You don't need to agree with everyone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But everyone has to start doing that. Everyone has to start doing that.
That's a big ask of a world in chaos.
Well, I want to hear the same time death of Matt Clip.
So look it up if you want while we're talking about this. So this guy tells me that, and I'm like, okay. And then he goes, they got to them both. I'm like, okay, I want to know
they didn't get to
who got to whom. And he's like, I thought he was going to say the Masons, the Illuminati.
They did both die in car accidents.
I mean, that happens all the time in Greece. Yeah. Speed is a real killer in Greece. People are constantly fucking driving like maniacs.
You need Sandra Bullock there to help you out.
So that's or Keanu. So what does he tell me? He looks me dead in the eyes from across where we're standing. He goes, in Greek though, the greatest trick the devil ever played was making me believe he doesn't exist. I'm like, okay. I'm like, where's this going?
We think the devil killed him?
I'm like, he goes, Madclip made deals with the devil. He sold his soul.
So wouldn't he survive?
I was like, and the devil brought Corona. I'm like, what? Like, I was trying to understand what he was saying. I really thought, and then he goes, they're Masons. I'm like, so are they Masons or are they the devil? And then it was Illuminati. Then he goes, I won't get vaccinated until this guy tells me, the owner. He's like, this is the guy. When he tells me I can get it, I'll get it. I'm like, all right. I mean, I like the guy, but I don't know if he's like an authority on vaccination status.
Look, I used to get my medical advice from my doctor, but now I'm going to go to Costa.
Apparently, Costa knows best.
But Costa does...
There's a podcast title, Costa knows best.
Costa does spend most of his day researching. So he is a guy... What's the matter?
What?
I saw the footage of him.
Yeah, it's bad. They were drag racing.
Yeah.
They're looking for
footage
the
of the
other car now.
accident?
His steering wheel locked up. He was in a Porsche, and he was just...
Oh, really? Sue Porsche?
And he hit a pole, and bro, the car did this around the pole.
Yeah, just like the guy from Jackass.
And that's what happened a few years ago in my car accident. The wheels locked up.
Really?
Yeah.
It's never happened to me. It sounds terrifying.
It sounds terrifying. And also, I would sue the fuck out of the car manufacturer.
Not if you're dead.
Well, him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, it wasn't my car.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but you almost died. You were in it, right?
Yeah.
You were driving?
No, I wasn't. I was a passenger. It was
driving?
The accident with Legacy. Remember 6 years ago?
Oh, that was his fault. It wasn't the thing didn't lock up. He drove straight into the wall.
No, but the wheels.
They didn't lock up, bro. He was speeding. We already know this. He was speeding.
Never been in. That's
I show up there, bro. I show up there. The car's on fire. Bro, I thought they were lying because I had just because this was years ago, and I had just driven my girlfriend home. I was like, I was gonna stay there at her place, and we got into an accident. I go, stop lying, guys. Like it's freezing outside. It was like February. No, for real. I go, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go see my friends. So I show up there, I drive, bro. Don't I fucking find the car's on fire? The car's melted. The car's on fire. They're there on top of that little turn on top of the 40 where you could get off to go on Esplanade if you go around.
Esplanade.
Yeah, if you go
Harvey's.
Yeah, where the Harvey's is.
The way I come here.
Yeah, they got up there and they went around. Yeah. So they're right after Saint Laurent. Coming from the east, it's right after Saint Laurent.
Yes. So I'm always coming west.
Yeah, exactly. So on that little bridge, so he was speeding, I guess, trying to show his turn in the ice or whatever, and he just crashed. So
you guys crashed under there?
Oh, dude, on top. This was on top.
On top. We hit the wall right by the train tracks.
Yeah, where the train tracks are.
We hit it at like 110 kilometers an hour.
I show up like, bro, it was the middle of the night. So
what the fuck?
It was the middle of the night. They told me there's an accident. The car's on fire.
It's a hairpin.
So I freaked out. So I drive there at the middle of the night. It took me from Côte des Neiges probably 15 minutes, bro. It was the middle of the night. There was no one there. 15 minutes to get there, speeding on ice, whatever. I show up, dude. I'm like panicking. I see them outside. They're trying to throw Perrier on the car. You
brought the Perrier.
No, the guy that you guys stopped gave you whatever he had in his car.
No, we had stopped.
A case of water. Oh yeah, it was my Perrier. Yeah. So, anyways, they're putting water, and then we're throwing Perrier on the car in front. Bro, it's just I show up there. Guess what I had, bro? It's just a car on fire. These two idiots. Looking at me like, what do we do, Dad? I go, is everybody okay? Did you guys kill someone? No, but we don't think the car's okay. I go, you don't think the car's okay? The car exploded. I go, how did you guys survive? And Poseidon's doing this. This is Poseidon. This is what he does to me. Look, I go, how did you survive, bro? This is what Poseidon does. No, you have to see it.
You have to see it, Phil.
He does this. I go, how did you survive? He goes like this. Starts tapping his belly. I go, what are you talking about?
Remember this?
What are you talking about? He's like this. My knees hurt, but I'm good. And he's hitting his stomach. I go, geez, the car exploded. They're both alive, bro. There's fucking. I show up there, bro. There's fire. We're trying to. It was insane. Yeah.
I years ago when I still had my. You remember my 3-door Hyundai Accent, the little hatchback I had, the little
the red one.
The grit. No, not
the red one was your first car.
My first car, Frank.
I remember driving around in that. Like
that car, I almost died in that car.
We had many an adventure in that.
Do you remember if you would laugh too hard and you would stomp your feet in the passenger seat, the computer would cut off and the whole car would shut down?
What?
If you would hit your foot on the passenger side floor, there was like it was a 1991 Honda Civic DX. Okay, it was like.
Oh my god.
It didn't have air conditioning. It just barely had power steering. The back windows, if you wanted to open them, you had to crank them open. And
I remember those.
You remember those, right?
Bro, it was fucking fun.
And it also had like a tray on the dash, so if you were ever in an accident, everything would hit you in the face, right?
Oh.
So the computer that runs, I guess, all the electronic, I don't really know. I just know it was a computer.
Computer,
this big, right? It was under the passenger side where the feet are.
Yeah.
And because of all the rust over the years underneath, they had like corroded. So if you like made a sudden movement, it would just shut the car off. Like I'd be on the highway and someone laughs and goes, "Ha!"
No.
Yeah,
and the
bro.
car just stopped, and I'm like, "Okay, start banging your feet." I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember all the errors, all the problems with this car, but there was a lot. Even Saucy had a car at the time. It was a Cadillac that he bought. I remember, and there was a hole in the car.
I had a hole in the back seat. Yeah,
you could see the floor outside.
I used to throw trash out. That was my garbage.
I was like,
can.
bro, what are you? I remember telling Saucy once. I look at him and go, bro, can I ask you a serious question? he's like, what? I go, bro, are you Fred Flintstone? What the fuck are you doing? I go, what are you? This can't be normal. This is dangerous. He's like, it's not dangerous. It'll only be dangerous once it's under my feet. And then, like, if I get tired, my feet go down and I die because it drags me down. Then it'll be dangerous. I go, there's a hole in the car.
He's not wrong. That would be dangerous. No, no, not my first car. My first new car. Like, I had the little gray Hyundai. Remember, it looked like a little bubble.
I don't remember.
Anyways, I'm driving it on Bates. I'm listening to Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. I only know this because since then I've never been able to drive to that song again. And it's daycare pickup time. There's a lot of daycares on Bates, right? So I'm driving. I'm doing like, it's a 50 zone. I might have been doing like 55, 58. I'm
70.
not going very fast. No, because I had just come off a stop sign, right?
83.
That one in the middle. Though there's a car in front of me, right? I can see all the way to Darlington, which is like where I'm going. Like there's no other cars coming. The car in front of me, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, slams on the brakes and veers to the right. So I veer to the left because I get scared. And doesn't she make the most erratic, fastest U-turn I've ever seen?
Jeez, to come right into you.
She just goes, so she's in front of me, and we're like this far apart, let's say, in the scale, whatever. She hits the brakes, so I go, whoa, and then she goes, bam, and we head on collision, right?
What a dumb bitch.
And like my airbag goes off, like
now I understand.
No, my airbag didn't go off.
Now I understand why Yves Blanchette didn't want that broad to talk. I get it.
So I get out of the car, and this is the first time I've ever been in an accident in my life. I'm like pretty shaken up. I'm like, what the fuck? Like my back's hurting. I'm like, whoa. And I get out, and this woman comes out, and she pulls off. She was wearing like a wrapper on her head, a white woman.
A wrapper?
A wrap. Like she had her head, like a headband kind of thing.
Okay.
Like a madili, whatever they're called. Yeah. She takes it off. She's completely bald. I'm like, oh my God, I hit a cancer patient. Like, oh my God. So I'm like, are you okay?
I think you hit an independent Jewish lady.
And she's, yeah. Why you ruin my story?
I didn't know.
So I'm being really nice to her, right? Because I think I've now almost killed a woman who's fighting for her life, even though it's completely her fault. So I call Anna. So Anna fucking barrels there like a bat out of hell in her little Beetle, her Cabrio Beetle. Shows up, the car is fucking the whole front of my car is done. Hers, not much damage. And I go, what were you doing? She goes, I was trying to get into the daycare. She made a U-turn. Instead of just turning left, she made a U-turn into the daycare entrance. So now there's other moms out. And I was like, why are you so calm? Like, why aren't you yelling at this woman? I was like, I don't know. I feel bad. She's a cancer patient. And I go, and now for some reason, there's a lot of like Orthodox Jews like circling us. It's really weird. She's like, because she's Jewish. I go, what do you mean?
I love Anna. She's like, it is obvious.
I was in shock. I was like, what do you mean she's Jewish? How do you know she's Jewish? She goes, her wig fell off. I was like,
you hit her so hard.
She doesn't have cancer. Anna's like, cancer? What the fuck are you talking about? So I look at her. I'm like, look, I was just blinking because you can't ask, excuse me, do you have cancer? Like, it's a weird question.
But you could say, do you have Jew?
I don't think you can say that either.
Have you been infected with the Jew?
So, like, Anna's just, like, really angry because now it's become very clear that based on what happened, this is completely her fault. The cops show up and they ticket me. Not her.
It's a hate crime.
They ticket me because I broke a solid line. I was like, I broke a solid line to avoid dying.
To a person who also broke a solid line to do a U-turn.
And you know what she told them? I didn't make a U-turn.
I was coming down the other side.
No. She said I was just driving. He tried to pass me and I got scared. And I was like, I look at the cop. I was like, what are you talking about? That doesn't, the physics don't line up. Like, we didn't hit like this or like this. We hit like this. Like, none of that makes sense. And he's like, all I can tell from what happened for sure is that you were on the opposite side. I go, I was on the opposite side because she hit the brakes. So we get into this back and forth. He goes, I go, she's lying. He goes, you really want me to go there and tell this woman who has cancer that she's lying? And I go, she doesn't have cancer. She's Jewish. And he goes, that's enough. Okay, we're done here. I was like, oh, well, why do I look like? Now he's like, this guy's an anti-Semite. I'm like, great. This is
how did they fantastic.
That was my car crash story. Yeah.
Oh wow.
What a fucking, isn't that infuriating? I fought it in court. I lost. It's the only time I lost.
I lost. That's infuriating. That's why we need dash cams.
Nah. I remember.
Ridiculous. I'm still thinking about it. Now I'm just angry. I wonder if Anna was in the chat.
She put her hand on her face.
But I remember having the.
Oh yeah. She's ashamed of me.
The Suzuki SUV. It was my first car. It was in 1998.
Pronounced Suzuki.
Suzuki.
Yeah.
Suzuki.
Bro, that car was fun, bro. I broke everything in that car. I broke the all-wheel drive system. I don't know how.
How fat were you?
Yeah.
No, because I kicked the shit out of it. I used to take it on the soccer field of Evangeline and drive on it. And
that'll do it.
Yeah.
Why would you take it on the soccer field? You destroyed the soccer field.
It was already destroyed, bro. Before
it's a public school.
Bro, I know. I went to that school. Everything was broken.
Yeah.
Because of him. No, he went years after me.
Look at Olga fucking showing off in the chat. I once got hit by a car, but I went to work because I had stuff to do.
Etsy, bravo, Olga. Very Slavic of you.
My catalytic converter had broken, so everywhere I went, it sounded like my car was farting.
Wait, isn't the catalytic converter the thing from Back to the Future that they put the compost in and it takes them to the future?
No, the catalytic converter is under the car.
He's explaining it to me.
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Go.
It's like a part that you put it like something with a sound.
Okay, so he started.
I really thought he was
felt like he knew what he was saying. He does this to me all the time, and I'm interested.
Bro.
He's like,
no, it's a catalytic.
don't do it.
I know what it is.
You.
The catalytic converter converts the catalysts into catalytics. It makes sense.
Oh, okay.
It's catalyzes the catalysts.
Catalytics.
And then I used to go old Montreal with that car, bro. I remember I was like fucking 16. The whole thing was a rust bucket, bro. People would laugh watching me pull up, bro. People would laugh, but I didn't.
What is in my cup that I just drank? What is that black thing? Is that a bug?
It might be a bug.
Show me.
No, it's plastic of some
So, bro, I used to go old Montreal, and you know the brick roads, bro? Dong.
Cobblestone.
Cobblestone. Bro.
Oswald Cobblepot.
People.
penguin. What? You're going to clean it?
Oh, no, don't throw stuff around. The guy...
It's just an instinct reaction. I was grossed out by it, so I'm getting rid of it. I drank from that cup.
You do that at home? You throw stuff on the floor?
No, oh, great. Anna's in the chat.
Anna, does he just throw shit on the floor?
Don't you dare.
Anna's like, God damn it, dude. Are you serious? Oh. Bro, one time my uncle, I saw him do that at my aunt's house. Bro, his schnots on the floor, and it was back in the day where Park X houses were all carpeted, thick carpet. And bro, I almost vomited. And I go, and it's not his house; it's his brother's wife's house, basically. And I was a kid, and I go like in Greek, I was like, "Tikanis." I go, "Tina, he's like, "Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up."
Bro, I would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even my house. But I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? Who does this?"
Look, my wife's on a fucking.
He thinks he's outside all the time. Phil, you gotta calm your tits.
It's the way I was raised. Okay, my grandfather
you
was a
weren't
shepherd.
raised like that.
No, I wasn't. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Bill will find that unacceptable.
Bill? Yeah. Yeah.
Backhand you.
She done? She's gonna keep going. I feel like she's gonna keep going.
What are you saying, Poseidon? You had a panic moment.
Oh no, it reminds me of my uncle that came from Greece.
Oh, the guy that was shitting everywhere.
Yeah, bro, the guy took a.
Bro, there's shit on the floor.
He just dropped a curada on the floor, bro.
He would just leave it.
What part of Greece are you from?
He would. That's what I told him. The Albanian part. He would literally find a trail of turds.
In the bathroom.
House?
In the bathroom only.
Maybe the guy had like an incontinence.
No. He would just keep pooping on the floor.
Okay, because Phil hasn't heard this story, so I'm gonna
I don't think I won. I don't like poop stuff. I'm out.
No, it's not disgusting.
It's more funny than disgusting.
Trust me, it's more funny than disgusting, right? So, just listen, Phil. Just listen.
Oh my God, Antifa's in the building. Get him.
Oh shit, you bastard.
I didn't even realize I was wearing my mask all this time. I pulled up, I'm like, oh, there's a mask here.
Yeah. So this guy, bro. So he wanted, cause it was during Greece, the big crisis and shit. No money. The guy was DJing, couldn't DJ. Anyways,
your uncle was DJing.
Yeah, he was a DJ.
DJ Kura the drop.
So he's like, I'll go to Montreal, make a difference, right? But he didn't know.
Make a difference.
I'll go to Montreal. I love that. I'll go to Montreal. Hold on. I'll go to Montreal. Make a difference.
Like find work. And
my
shit.
music is make a difference.
Like find
Bro,
work and shit.
la revolución. It's
Bim,
going to
bim,
drop
boom,
the beat.
chicka, boom, 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 boom. You feel this?
So he was used to
Sitting
the
on the floor.
He was used to the easy life, right?
Yeah.
Working 2 days a week as a DJ on the islands, making a shit ton of money.
Bro, I want that life.
Right?
He had a
so
shit
he comes
ton.
here, bro. He realizes he has to work 40 hours a week. He was like,
I'm gonna shit on the floor.
Yeah. So hold on, bro.
So he was in so much shock that he just shit on the floor. Couldn't believe it. Blah.
Hold on, Phil.
What do you mean I wake up 8 a.m.?
Hold on. So
Poop on you.
So he would sleep in the living room, right? We had no more space, right? So he would sleep in the living room chilling. So
Is this your dad's brother or your mom's?
this is from my mom's side.
Which means the whole family's fucked at this
Okay,
point.
yeah.
No,
just checking.
this is my mom's side, but from like anyways.
Anyways, he's an
doesn't
uncle.
matter.
kind of like
uncle.
distance. So anyways, so I'd wake up some mornings, bro, start my day, bro. Bro, I go into the bathroom, I find shit on the floor.
Just imagine the shock the first time I walked to the bathroom. Just what's going on in your head. You're like, wait, what is happening?
But hold on. We had a dog at the time. We had a little dog.
Oh yeah, so I started blaming and yelling at the dog.
So
Okay.
so I'm like, I thought it was a dog. So I started yelling at my mother, yo, we got a potty trainer. And the dog kept shitting. And then my mother thought it was legit the dog. So she would punish the dog, put her in the cage.
Was getting punished for crimes it didn't commit.
I've
So we
seen this
thought-
scene in a movie
Hold
where
on,
someone was pooping on the floor and blaming the dog.
Oh, well, this
so
is
we
his real life.
thought it was the dog, bro. So
I mean, it's a fair assumption.
It is.
So I'm like,
You're a
what the
grown
fuck,
man.
right? So I'm like, fuck. And then, bro, one day, bro, what happened? What was it? Hold on, I'm trying to remember. Was it
God,
me
there
that
was a
caught him,
story.
or was it my mother?
Someone
that
caught
You
him.
caught him pooping on the floor, like in the act,
No, as he left the
like
bathroom.
sphincter ajar.
No, as he left the bathroom. So one morning, I think my mother wakes up early, bro, and she goes to use the bathroom, but my uncle's in there. He comes out, bro. My mother walks in. There's a curada on the floor.
There's a turd.
A
Turd,
curatus.
Sorry, a turd.
Ancient Greek
There's a
curadion.
small turd on the floor. She goes, what the fuck? She goes, she calls back my uncle. She goes, let me ask you a fucking question.
Was this here when you walked in?
Was this here when you walked in? And he goes, no. So my mother goes, come here, Malaka. Have you been shitting on the fucking floor, bro? He starts losing her shit, bro.
He lost his shit. But I don't understand why. Did he ever explain why?
Hold on, I'm gonna get
okay,
to that.
there's more.
So bro, so then I hear this, and I got super pissed because we blamed the poor little doggy, right? So I'm like, if this motherfucker comes back here, I'm gonna crack his
The story's
fucking
taking
head.
too long. Pick it up the pace.
So then his excuse was, he was used to the bidets in Greece, so he would try to hang over the tub and wash his asshole. So he'd wash his asshole, but standing up and bent over. So it would hit his asshole, but
Hold on. You mean to tell me that he would have you believe that after shitting, when he would get up, there was so much shit on his ass crack that pieces of like turd were flying off when he was
like
cleaning
very
it?
small piece of turd. Yeah.
Oh.
So he would just use the thing as a bidet, but he wouldn't go in the shower like a normal fucking. So it would just fall
So
outside.
he's using. He's like, I gotta be clean. So he's throwing shit all over the floor. He's like, yep, clean enough. And he
Clean
walks
as
out.
a whistle.
It's crazy.
yeah, it was insane.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Poop really doesn't.
Anyway,
I
so
don't-
Poseidon then has to confront him.
Oh, but the thing is, I said he can't step back in here again. He's been shitting on the fucking floor. This bastard.
He kicked him out of the house. Said you can't stay back in this house because you shit on the floor.
And I even threatened my mother. I go. If he walks back in here,
I'm gonna slap you in the face.
No,
shit in your mouth.
because she felt bad. I told her if he walks back in here, I'm smacking him in front of the whole family. I don't give a fuck. And she had to tell him, and the guy didn't want to come back. He was afraid.
My son said he will smack you in front of the whole family because you keep shitting on the floor. And the guy's like this. He's like, seems like a reasonable response.
I mean, it does seem like if someone came to my home and shat on the floor, I mean, like, I have kids. My daughter, when she was potty training, I mean, she was like 2.5. She didn't even, I mean, it happened one time. And the other day, actually, she brought up, she goes, remember that time when I was little and I had to poop, but I waited too long? I'm like, yes. I pooped on the floor. I'm like, But you didn't mean to. She goes, no, it wouldn't stay.
She's a baby.
She's a baby. But this is a grown man.
But that's she's being potty trained. It's a different story. This is a grown ass man.
Even the potty trained kid knew it was an accident, though. She was like, oh no,
bro, this guy was a DJ,
but not
bro.
Just that. Let's say,
bro, DJ Floor
What was his DJ name?
I don't remember. But this guy,
DJ Curada.
at least.
Why is that not that funny? It's so obvious.
DJ Hestika, man.
You know when the bass drops?
Look,
That's when he rips him.
Look, here's the thing. Now,
Yeah, he's like this. Dropping the bass and the shit.
Poseidon's uncle.
here's the thing. Here's my issue, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. You're not used to. You want to use it as a bidet. You're a big guy. You're not used to the fucking bathrooms here. You're not.
But
used
if he
to
wants to use, but if he wants to use the bathtub as a bidet, why not go
ever
into
used
the
the bidet?
bathtub?
Thank
I
you.
have used the bidet,
But also,
Do you like it?
Also,
I don't like it
my
either.
other
It's weird.
argument was.
but I also I don't like when I poop. I can't just dry. I need to use paper towels with
wet.
water, all that. Yeah, I gotta be clean. I can't walk around with a non-clean asshole.
I mean, then you got stinky fingers after.
What?
If you walk around with a non-clean asshole because you're shoving your fingers up,
You're always itchy.
No. You got. So I do understand
You
the
never heard that
argument.
joke?
I do understand the argument
Nobody?
about
Okay.
because my whole life I always had to like clean thoroughly. You have to have
I understand
water
that
and all
too.
that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, but like-
because some people it's just dry the whole time. Like how the fuck when I wash my hands, I can't just dry wash my hands when there's a problem. You got to wash. You got to put soap. It's got to be wet. But your asshole where there's shit, you're not gonna clean it.
Makes a good point. He makes a good point.
So, but my argument was also with this guy was, bro, when you got up to leave, did you not notice the shit on the floor? And at the very least, you're being, I was about to say hospitalized.
Inhospitable.
You're being
a bad house guest.
yeah, there you go, bro. You're being invited to stay, bro, for free. You're not paying rent and shit. At the very least, bro, pick up your fucking shit from the floor, bro.
He's like, hold on a sec.
That's what I was
This
mad
is
about.
part of contract. I have to clean my own curades from floor. Oh no!
This is very different culturally speaking.
What kind of hotel this is?
Airbnb.
Air bricky.
You remember that meme I always say, another bricky on the wall?
Yeah.
It kills me every time. It's so stupid, but I laugh.
So
Speaking of Bricky, I have to
Christine
go see
bought
them.
a sex toy, she said, for the lonely times during the
I
pandemic.
bought a kind of bidet thing you place on the toilet and plug in the water line. Yeah, it's a sex toy.
I'm looking at the wrong cam. It's you remember at the beginning of the pandemic when toilet paper was the whole currency thing?
Yeah.
And all these Middle Easterners were like, you guys have been using toilet paper all this time? I use, and they have a word for it. I don't remember what it is. But like, I understand a bidet. It's a water stream. It's pressurized, right?
Yeah.
It cleans. They're using like a water bottle.
They
They're
use
just
water
pouring
bottles,
it
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then they're using a rag.
Yeah, but not all Muslims, bro. Not
No, I mean, even the ones who are. What are you doing? What do you stop it? Buy some fucking flushable wipes.
Yeah, but it's you're saying that because like I can't because I grew up here.
Yeah.
I have stuff that I can never get used to. For example, I cannot shit in a hole. The Turkish toilets, I can't do that.
I can.
I cannot. I can't.
I
Look,
have and will again.
I can't. Same thing with water pressure. I can't have shitty water pressure. I need good water pressure to wash the shampoo conditioner out of my hair. I can't have this fucking baby tinkle on my head. You need good water pressure. Right? There's
Okay.
certain things that because I grew up here and I got babied, I become a diva when I don't have that. Also, the other problem I have in Greece, even in fucking hotels, bro.
Hard water.
Bro, like I thought Greeks were supposed to be tall. I go to fucking hotels, bro, and sometimes I gotta squat down to fucking shower.
aren't
in
tall.
Greece.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
First of all, think about what you
And
just
every
said.
time it happens, I feel like, oh, am I a fucking mutant?
You're
How
big-
am I? I'm not that tall.
But Greek hotels were not made for Greek people. They're made for tourists.
That's true too.
Maybe
yeah.
that's why. But at the same time,
Little Italian men.
shower, yeah, they're tiny, eh?
Italians, yeah,
Yeah, but shower height isn't like a standard thing.
you'd think, but no. It's I have to squat down in most places in Greece.
I've never had an issue. I'm not as tall as you, so I mean, and water pressure. As long as there's enough water to get the soap off me, I mean, I'm fine. I don't have hair, so. But
No,
what
yeah.
does suck when I have bad water pressure is because I like to,
Yeah, you
clean the
need water
beard.
pressure.
It's so coarse. You need pressure. So a lot of times I give up and I end up going into the sink to get soap out of my beard, and I create this like pressure jet with my hand, like to
Yeah,
get it
no,
out.
I like good
But,
water pressure is very important.
Greece doesn't really. I mean, I've had good shower experiences in Greece. I have to say, like, I've been lucky, except for our house. Like, the shower's outside, so
There's too many
You have a
people-
beautiful view. but like there's bugs in it.
Oh yeah, I don't like. That's the other thing.
It's not fully outside. Just for the record, it's like it's a room that's not connected to the main house. But like, you know what I never understood about Greece? Why don't they have screens in the windows?
What do you mean?
I'd love to open the window and not be infested with cicadas.
Oh yeah.
Why don't they put a fucking screen there? Am I just too city boy?
Yeah, no, it depends where you are. Some people they have screens.
In the cities they have, but like in the village, the window opens and now it's you and 6,000.
In the village, like I said, a lot of places holes in the ground still, which I can't get behind. I also don't like.
You don't have to. You just need to get on top of it.
I also don't like the way they build stuff where like the bathroom, a lot of places, even though it's nice, let's say it's a nice bathroom, but it's built in another building basically.
But that's
like, in the middle of the night, bro. You gotta take a shit. You gotta run out of the house. You know, bro, you know how crazy that is to me. I remember my grandma's house. I go, are you people fucking joking? Like, no, there's 2 bathrooms, but the closest one is. I go, you fucked. What is going? Can I? You want me to invest some money so we can build a fucking? No, why would we have a bathroom in the house? I go, why wouldn't you have a bathroom in the house?
I mean, I know that once upon a time in like most European cultures, the idea of having the bathroom in the house was gross to them.
You know why? Because there was no toilets flushing.
No, I get it.
It just smells like
shit.
But
it's just something that stayed. I mean, my grandmother's sister, who was in Greece. I mean, she's dead now.
Ancient Greece had flushable toilets.
Some parts of ancient Greece.
Some parts of ancient Greece.
Most of them just
not on the mountains.
They were like walking, she's like, oh fuck, and they kept going.
No, they didn't want to do that.
I'm sure some people did. Have you seen his uncle?
No, they wouldn't do that. They had, especially in the cities, they had running water.
Yeah, but out in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere, they had the holes, this and that, because they couldn't build that same fucking aqueducts on mountains and shit like that.
Yeah.
But we had discussion last time, something I never realized. So I always had, because that's what I studied in history too, Rome, Greece, I really studied that stuff. So I had this perception in my mind for the longest time about how, like, in the ancient times, the cleanliness level of what it was, and to me it was acceptable. Obviously, and then I figured out
it was not.
Even up to the Middle Ages, the second you pass that southern part of Europe and you go north, especially once you enter what was supposed to be civilized, France, England, bro, they were throwing buckets of shit in the street.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah, that was incomprehensible in the southern world. So I was like, wait a second. I have this perception, and it's like, no. They in northern parts of Europe, people reeked. They reeked, and it was known that they stunk, and it was known that they would throw shit, and there was a way you could walk on the street where you have to protect the women so that the shit doesn't splash on her. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? They lived in 2 different universes.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the same time. 2 different universes. Those are the things that if I was in charge, I would adopt right away. I'd be like, what are the Southerners doing? What do you mean they don't have shit everywhere? Fuck, let's go plumbing. What the fuck are these idiots doing in the togas? Let's go. Let's adopt that shit.
It's true, eh?
Yeah.
You think one guy would be like, huh?
Yeah, they can clean it, but they're like, nah, fuck it. It's easier to just throw buckets of shit out the window.
That's how you know these motherfuckers are nasty. At some point,
bro.
In France, it was the style to be stinky.
Yeah.
It was.
I was watching Unexplained the other day with King Henry the Fifth or the whichever one. He showered twice in his whole life.
Yeah.
His whole. You know how disgusting. Like, and then I think about like the history of sex, like how sex has progressed. Like, obviously from day one we knew how to fuck each other. Like we had to continue being. But like all the other stuff we do, the oral sex, the whatever, toys. Can you imagine how disgusting that must have been even 100 years ago? Were they not doing that? I fucking hope not.
Maybe not. I don't know. But that's like Greece and Italy and all that. They were banging like crazy. They were banging everyone because they were all fucking going to the beaches, swimming, showering.
No, actually, that's a misconception that they were using. They didn't swim in the ocean often.
They bathed in the ocean. I never said. I said they bathed in the ocean.
They didn't bathe in salt water. No, they bathed in only fresh water.
No, they bathed in.
Did they? I've always read that
they bathed in the beaches. Yeah,
I know they didn't go to the beach like we do.
No, they bathed. They would go. It was a whole thing. They'd bathe. They'd philosophize. They'd walk. That's what I'm saying.
Jerk each other off a bit.
Part of the culture was to clean yourself.
Well, even Roman bathhouses, right? They had these public communal bathhouses. I was again, I don't remember where I saw this. I was watching some documentary special going, the water must have been the most disgusting thing in the world because everybody was disgusting.
Yeah.
Like by our standards, not by Northern Europeans, by our standards today.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they would go to these baths because they had some kind of like skin fungus or something. They're like, the bath will cleanse it. So you have a bunch of otherwise healthy, dirty people with a bunch of guys with like herpes and syphilis.
I don't know. I don't know much about the Roman bathhouses, but I know in ancient Greece they would do even they would do stuff that people do now. They would oil themselves up, like if they were doing activities or going to war, shit like that. And then they'll go wash themselves off after, like, all right, war's like I played my hockey game, now I gotta go shower. Like it was part of the culture, it was normal. So
but they didn't have soap. They didn't have soap though.
That's 1,000 years later, 1,000 years later, for people on the same continent to not be doing that and just keeping shit on themselves and doing shit, that's what was shocking to me. It's like, you could see examples of how the fuck do you not
And
want
they're
to
not even like far off in the Orient. They're like,
No, it's the south of Europe.
it's like 2 days drive, 2 days carriage ride if you're in Italy or whatever in the north.
But,
It would always shock me.
But also the salt water alone is very good for your
The
skin.
salt water is good for your skin. It's good
very
to clean you. Yeah, for
I
sure.
remember when I went down in Greece in 14 and 15, I had a back knee problem. It wasn't really a big problem, but like I had a lot in my opinion. And I remember going to Greece, got rid of it completely.
Yeah, salt water
everything
cleared that
just
right up.
fell off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it dries out the skin and the skin can heal and it cleanses it because it's coarse and it exfoliates you. Yeah, in Greece, like...
I would do this at night. And they would just fall off.
Yeah, of course.
It was nuts to me. I was like, wow.
It's a natural exfoliant salt, right? So it's good for the skin. But yeah, no, salt water is good for you. Now I buy saline packs, like salt from the ocean, so I can like clean my sinuses. And a lot of times I'll I have this little thing, you just push it through. And sometimes I get that like burning in the back, when you in the ocean. And instead of being like, I'm like, I miss Greece. I miss the ocean. I miss the sea. Because it's the same kind of like burn, right? You know when you go underwater and you do like a flip and you're like, salt water, fuck. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
I got used to that burn though.
Yeah, you see that burn?
Yes, he did.
Burn.
DJ Kurada helped him.
Yeah, I miss. Fuck, man, I miss Greece.
I wish we could go on vacation. Like, I mean, there's no. First of all, school started, so we can't just up and leave right now.
Oh, by the way, for everybody who hates the Vax Pass,
Yeah, sure. Good segue.
it's our fault.
How?
If Mitsotakis is the guy who started this shit.
Huh?
Someone else would have started if it wasn't.
No. Look, we gotta accept blame. Where
I'm not gonna accept blame for something he's doing.
If I accept compliments for great inventions we've made, I have to accept blame. He's the first idiot to do it because he's a pushover, and then he's like, yeah, that's what Greece is doing, and then other people start to follow suit and all that.
Wasn't Mitsotakis?
The Prime Minister of Greece.
Oh.
Mitsotakis.
Jesus Christ.
Mitsotakis.
You're telling me none of the Albanian news talks about Greece at all? At all? Ella. So, so it's our fault. So, that's our fault. If I'm going to accept other stuff, I got to accept the bad stuff too. That was our fault. My mom said the same thing. She goes,
I didn't realize you were of Albanian stock.
He is.
Talking about? I just don't follow Greek
as
closely.
It's Antoine Mulaciat.
Yeah. Tirana.
Tirana.
What?
Yeah.
What's Tirana?
It's your hometown.
Yeah.
This has become a strange
You ever
show.
watch Albanian soccer?
I have not watched Albanian soccer.
I have.
No.
Yeah.
Just one thing about
They're good.
You mean like I'm ethniki?
No. No, but they're, you know what they need to do, bro, that they need to bring back? I don't know if they can because people are fucking dickheads. The Balkan Cup. Bro, the best teams,
From the
Turkey,
Balkans?
Greece, Albania, Bulgaria, all that. Oh, bro.
And now there's more teams because there's more countries.
There's more teams, there's more countries in it. It's just so much fun. Like, just to have another cup and you're close by for the travel and shit. Plus,
It's like a friendly Balkan war.
yeah, it brings a lot of unity too.
true, eh?
It brings a lot of unity too, because then you meet people that you didn't meet before, like teams that you wouldn't normally meet in the Champions League. Like you're not gonna find Olympiacos and
I just feel like
Tirana.
something like that would be one of the most corrupt cups in all of soccer. And that says a lot about
That's what
because
would
I'm
also
talking
make it fun.
Yeah, that's what also make it fun.
Yeah.
But it's just I miss those kind of times. Yeah,
The
But speaking of
Balkans.
Albanians, have you seen Albanian women?
yeah, of course.
I have met
Eliza
Albanian women,
Dushku,
I feel like,
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa.
yeah, they're fucking hot, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Those are good-looking ladies.
Bro, in Europe, most European countries, have sexy women.
Yeah, but even Greek women, have you noticed Greek women like whether
He's telling me if I've noticed that Greek women are hot. Like, are you fucking ahead? Yeah, they're one of the people know this. They're one of the hottest.
But like I feel like they're the best of everything. There's like a bit of Latina. There's a bit of
Yeah, you can get a good mix. Greece has
know
a
what I
pretty
mean?
diverse
I don't
look.
think that's what he's trying to say.
blondes.
He's
Yeah, that's what
trying
he means. They have a
You're trying
diverse
to say
look.
there's Latins there.
No,
No, that's not what I'm trying
You'll
to say.
get. He means you'll like the
Like-
phenotypic diversity is quite vast.
Like
Greeks
whatever.
don't have one look.
But that's here too.
Yeah, but this is a country where everyone's the same kind of thing, right?
But also
He's just saying stuff because he wants to fuck Greek girls.
But do you like how Greek girls look, like Greekster Greek girls that look like
Yes.
From
that look
Greece.
ancient Greek, the nose, all that
Yes.
stuff.
Oh,
You
that
like that?
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Well,
He doesn't.
the typical
no,
Greek
he
look,
does.
right?
He does. There's no typical. Greek
He
look.
doesn't understand what I mean by a typical Greek look.
He means like the nose that does this.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've ever met a Greek person who has
The
that.
nose
I
that does
have.
what?
Have you?
And it was weird. I couldn't stop looking at her.
Yeah.
Not weird bad. I was just like,
Confused.
You're from an ancient time.
I mean, Noses like this, you'll see a lot of in the Hellenistic period, during the Roman period. Like this is what's considered a Roman nose from the statues.
Romanski nosichki.
But like they all kind of look the same. They're just this to me, this is like an Aztec nose, like bonk.
Yeah. No, it's not that big. The typical Greek one.
Hold on.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is more. This is a bit newer Greek. This is nouveau Greek.
That looks like Selma. To some extent.
Hold on, like this?
Selma does look Greek.
That's just a girl wearing a Greek outfit, dude. There's literally just random women wearing ancient Greek togas.
I just typed in ancient Greek women.
Yeah, and you picked the most random thread because there's actually pictures of chicks and you want to look at it.
Okay, but what about this? Okay, let's see.
Okay, that's probably better.
This is more like it.
Let me see.
No, I've never met anyone with a nose like that, but it's interesting. It's a hefty nose though, eh? It's a lot of nose.
Not that a bit of nose, yeah, but
Can you scroll down, Poseidon?
you never seen this look?
Scroll down. Let me have a look here. What do we got? Nothing useful, nothing useful, nothing useful. Keep going. That looks like my Anfroso. I don't have an Anfroso.
So what I just showed you.
I like this.
Yeah, but this is from the Roman period, I think.
No, it's not the same nose I'm talking about. The one on the right, but it's a cartoon. The one with the baby.
Don't click on that. That's Lena Headley. That's Lena Headley. Don't click on Lena Headley.
Looks Asian.
Go down. No, she doesn't. Go down. Go down. Type in not ancient Greek women because you're not going to find photos. You know why? There was no cameras. Type in Greek woman face, bro. Oh, there. This is a Greek face. This is a Greek nose face.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
This
That's like a Maria Callas kind of look.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't mind it. Yeah.
Well, put this here. Put this in front of the camera there so they can see.
I'm gonna pull it up for them right now.
Okay. Scroll down.
What a weird thing we're doing right now.
They have Mongoloids there too. Look, Al Jazeera. They have Turkish
face. I don't like that shit.
Go down. Face from a
that looks
statue.
like fucking.
Yeah, because they're not real. They're recreations of what they think.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what you were looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's nice right there. That's a Greekster face. Go down.
Jesus Christ, what is that?
It's the recreation. It's the same picture over and over. It's a recreation. It's a digital recreation of a fucking.
I think I saw that guy at the cafe once.
Go down. Keep scrolling, bro. So that one, that painting there.
Can people see what we're seeing?
Go down.
Yeah, they can see now.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have it on?
No, I put the stream on.
Oh, okay.
Go down. Down, down, down. These are just Greeksters. Go down. Oh, that one.
This one?
No. Are you fucking stupid, bro?
You literally saw the photo. Jesus.
Yeah. That's
I can see that.
That's an old Greekster face.
Isn't that, what's her name? Maria Callas.
I'm just saying that's an old Greekster face. That's how the
I
nose
know, I'm just saying.
Scroll down.
I'm asking.
That's Beyonce. Scroll down. Oh, that one too. That's a Greekster face right there in the middle. Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, because the fucking nose, but she had her face done, obviously.
That's all she's done.
Go down.
It's Bella Hadid.
I'm just saying that's how they look.
I mean, it's all fake though.
Yeah. Go down.
That is a man.
Stop.
That's not real. I keep telling you, it's a recreation of Neanderthals. Go down. Go down. Down, 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 down.
Why does Bella Hadid keep coming up?
She has a Greekster face, I guess. I don't know. Oh, there. That one's too a Greek nose female.
This one?
No.
Let me see.
It curves out a bit.
Click it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my nose.
Oh, no, it's not. That's not your nose.
No, I always thought that's what my nose.
No,
looked
your
like.
nose is a little bit less protruded than that.
Pronounced?
Oh, that one right there. I like the bottom with the black hair right there under. Shit like that. Yeah, that's how they look.
The statue that he clicked on before.
Yeah.
That looks like Anna. That's what my wife's nose look like. His little tiny little nose. The statue. Okay, he fucked it. He's gone.
It's okay.
He had just
the point is,
to the
Poseidon.
top.
Now you get what we mean. That's what we mean by that. That's what a Greekster face. That's what That's what like a Greek nose is. So I've seen.
That's what people consider it to be.
Yeah. So I've seen women like that in Greece that like look like an old statue, and it's always mesmerizing.
Yeah.
I'm always like, get the fuck out of here.
I think I saw a few in Chios.
Yeah. Well, it depends where you saw a few in Chios. What do you mean?
A few women like that in the summer. But they weren't from there. They were.
Yeah, because I don't think you won't find islanders with. You'll find mainlanders with
in Athens
noses like that.
Athens.
No, you'll find islanders too.
No, Athens is you find everything else but Greeks. No,
I mean like the stewardesses, the Greek women that were working at the airport and shit.
He's just thinking of pretty women. He's not thinking of the nose that we're
saying. To be completely honest, I've traveled to Greece many times. I find that of all the Europeans, maybe not all, excluding the Balkans, of all the other Europeans, Greeks, not only women, Greeks in general, have a very, very vast, we can look like almost anything.
Yeah.
I mean, so when you take into account the fact that being included in the modern Greek state.
But you have a bit of a nose like that Greek nose.
I do have a bit of a Greek nose. I know.
It's a straight nose.
Yeah, I have a bit of a Greek nose, but I don't think I think I have too big of a chin.
This is a weird conversation.
I don't know. I can't see your chin.
I can't picture one specific type of look. Like even when I think of like the ancient art I've seen, they all kind of look different.
I have Greekster features, but you could probably find Greekster features on Phil. You could find Greekster features on you.
You could probably find them on a random guy too. Like
some features, but yeah.
I'm saying features specifically.
Yeah. No, obviously I have the Greekster feature, bro. I'm a super Greekster. But yeah, I like that nose on women. There's something about it when they look like old statues.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, I saw that in Greece. I saw some women that look like it. What's the matter?
My family's having a conversation that I've just no idea what's going on.
Are they angry with you?
No, that's fine. Sorry, I just got sidetracked.
Okay, they just announced the NHL players will be allowed to go back to the Olympics in Beijing. You don't say no to China.
I mean, you can try.
No, but I prefer the Winter Olympics with the NHL team. I prefer
with the
NHL players. I prefer the best of the best competing.
But then it doesn't allow for. But what was the whole issue? Why weren't they allowed?
The NHL just didn't want to take a risk because especially the Winter Olympics are mid-season for the NHL.
Yeah.
So if you start allowing your players to go, they could get injured. You have to stop the season. Is
there a World Cup equivalent?
There's a World Cup of hockey too. Yeah.
So then,
but even that, the World Cup of hockey, sometimes NHLers don't go. It's like
really?
Division I players and shit. Yeah. So it's a weird thing because there's so much hockey. There's so many divisions, so many leagues.
Too much hockey. Just way too much hockey.
There's too much everything. Fuck is happening in Texas? A new pro-gun law. What does that mean?
Yeah. So all in Texas.
Hold on. Pro-gun law.
Yes.
But there's no such thing as a pro. It's in the Constitution that they have guns.
Oh yeah, it's true. But anyways, anyways,
it's an open carry.
Most Texans who legally own a firearm to carry it openly in public without obtaining a permit or training. Yep. Oh, that's fine.
Without training?
Huh?
They can open carry without any kind of training.
That's fine because that's the Constitution, bro. What do you want me to tell you?
It's the Constitution. Also, you know what's crazy, bro? People will criticize Texas about this shit, but I think they're one of the states with the least amount of gun violence.
They are.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, they are. And the most amount of gun violence happens in states where guns are really, really hard to get, like Chicago, New York, shit like that. Like, yeah.
So you're saying the fact that everyone has a gun makes everyone think twice about using it?
Look, they say that might be why. I don't think that's why. I don't think it's because of a deterrent, because the guy might shoot. You know what I think it is? I think it's cultural. The guns they have, they respect them, and they know it's for defense and hunting and all that. They don't take it for granted. Like, yo, I got a gun, I want to shoot someone. Yeah. I think it's cultural. That's what I think.
You might be right. I'm really not
when
sure.
I'm out there, that's how I feel, because I've seen people open carry in Texas. I've seen, and at first it was like overwhelming.
Open carry too. It was really scary.
It was overwhelming, and then it just became. I was like, I don't give a shit.
I was at a Walmart in Florida, and some guy walks by me and he bumps me. He's like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, "Oh, excuse me," and I turn. And like, it's not even under the jacket. He's just open carry.
I don't think you could open carry in
if you
Walmart.
have this red kind of permit,
no,
depending
you can't.
on your work.
No.
I don't know what he was doing.
Walmart won't even let you in. There's even restaurants I remember
this guy had a gun on him, man.
Where they tell you most places they go, we don't allow open carry here.
Maybe
just because it makes people uncomfortable.
I don't know.
I'm thinking Walmart. I don't think allows you to go in open carry, but I might be wrong.
I don't know what the real rules are, but I'm telling you, I met a guy who had a gun
out
right here.
Where?
On his hip in Florida. In a Walmart.
Oh, okay.
And I stared at the gun initially because my brain was like, gun, like, get the fuck out of here. And he looked at me, he's like, where are you from? I was like, Canada. He's like, ha. And he just walked away. I was like, what the fuck was that? But he saw me, like, I said sorry to him, and I was like, hey, sorry, man. Like,
Are you looking at my cock, sir?
He's like, you like my piece, bro?
Yeah, no. So, anyways, when I'm down in Texas, bro, there's never anything aggressive with the guns. They're all.
No, I've never seen anything
aggressive. They
know
know about the guns. They show me shit with the guns. They're all.
Like, watch what I can
just.
No. It's more of they take care of the guns. They clean them. They don't want to pull out the gun. They don't. When I've seen people argue in Texas, get mad at each other, tell them to go fuck themselves, and they both have guns, and no one's reaching the like. Their instinct isn't let me shoot you. You get it?
Yeah.
That gun is for self-defense, for hunting, for shit like that. It's their instinct is not like it is in other places where it's like I can't get guns, but everybody somehow has a fucking unlicensed gun and they're shooting each other. They don't have that. There it's cultural.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference. But for some reason, the media, they love to spin that.
They love to spin it as in, oh my God, gun violence in Texas is gonna.
No. They never lie about that. I haven't seen that gun violence in Texas. I haven't seen that.
Crystal's packing heat in Florida.
Let me see.
Good.
I have license for conceal, and I'm in Florida. That's right, baby.
Yeah, like, I'm curious though, but Crystal, is it like in your purse, or are you wearing like a holster? Like I just always wondered because I don't have this right. I mean, do I? I guess I could go.
Christine says she would prefer that people who carry firepower at least have some training. I agree, just like a car. I believe that, you should get some training. Yeah, but theoretically, but what used to happen in a lot of these states back in the day, even the 70s, kids, high school kids, will go to school with their rifle on their back. They would have shooting courses. They weren't shooting each other, the kids. They knew it was part of the culture. They would teach them how to use it. They would clean it. And then when gun violence, gangs, all that stuff started to really pick up, and school shootings, like kids were, and it was happening in other states and shit, they started blaming the guns. But kids used to carry guns around, and this wasn't happening. The issue wasn't the guns, but society did not want to accept the fact that they fucked up. They let these kids down. They became latchkey kids. Society did not want to admit that the shit they were showing to these kids on TV for 24 hours, the parents weren't taking care of them. TV was raising them. It was the kids were getting depressed. All these antidepressants, they were putting kids on drugs. They did not want to take the blame for the poison they were putting in these kids' mind, even now, right? So they were trying to shift it. Same thing with, they never mentioned the medication these kids were on, but what did they mention? I remember when I was working at EA, video games. Video games were causing, and I was like, yo, I play the most violent shit. I fuck around with my friends. We'll kill hookers. We'll do this. That's in the game.
Yeah.
We've never had the urge to that.
You're saying it's in the game.
It's in the game. And I was like, what? And I remember being in it. I was like, yo, these are wrong. And I never knew at the time. I didn't know because I didn't do my research. Because there was Bowling for Columbine. There's all these documentaries. I never did my research to realize that find these kids, bro, most of them, if not all of them, all had prescription medication. The guy who was in Colorado, the shooting, the guy who they said was the Joker, but he just dyed his hair. It had nothing to do with the Joker. The guy who went to Batman.
I remember.
He was fucked in the head. He was on it. And society didn't want to take responsibility. That the shit we tell you in the media, the stuff we're feeding you, all that that we fucked up kids. They didn't want to take responsibility. Parents didn't want to take responsibility that they weren't raising their kids. They were seeing them fucking 1 hour a day maybe, and the school and TV would raise them. They didn't want to take responsibility. So they said, fuck, let's blame the guns. And then people who grew up culturally with guns are like, well, fuck you. Like, we've had guns my entire family, my neighbors, everybody. We're giving kids guns. They're going to school with them. No one's fucking shooting each other. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is something else. And that's what's happening now is a lot of people
I'm going to defer back to what I always do when people have this conversation with me, which is if you think it's because of the kids, the only thing you can truly do is just raise your kids better.
Yeah.
Because if enough of us do that, then we'll slowly start seeing a tide turn. There will always be asshole kids. There will always be
there's always going to be asshole kids. There's always going to be...
there'll always be that one kid who's just fucking sad as fuck and he wants to hurt people.
There's always going to be outliers. But this is my thing. And I was bad at this too. I haven't had kids yet, but I was bad at not looking at the other side. You have to think about what caused a kid to get so depressed that he wanted to take other people and his own life. Whether it's the bullying, whether it's his parents neglecting him, medication he's on, we have to really start asking questions. Like, remember when the thing happened in Florida?
Which one?
The recent one in Florida when those kids, and then those kids became famous. Some of them were going to talk. There was that one girl who was becoming she shaved her head. She was the Puerto Rican girl who was becoming very famous, like to talk against bullying. But she openly said, like, that kid, she bullied him. She's like, yeah, he's a fucking loser. We didn't like him. Fuck that kid. This. I was like, wait a second. So you were bullying this kid. They bullied him relentlessly. And then the kid came back and shot everyone, which I'm not saying that's the way you should do. But it's like, hold on a second. You're making this little girl a hero. She's openly saying, fuck him. He was a loser. She's part of the fucking problem. You can't raise her up on a pedestal. She has to come out and admit that it's wrong. Like, well, maybe we shouldn't have fuck with this kid every single day of his life and called him a loser and he looks stupid and all that. That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy.
Especially when some kids.
Did you bully kids? You bullied
for
kids.
For sure.
Yeah, I for sure bullied too, and I've been bullied a lot too. But like, some kids just get bullied because the parents are too broke to get them new shoes and shit.
Yeah, that's fucked though. No. If you're like a creepy weirdo who refuses to talk to anyone and you get caught like peeping in the girl's locker room, I mean, there's more going on. You're gonna get rattled, but there's more going on with just bullying there. It's not the bullying that caused it. There's something else going on. Yeah. But there's weird people. Some people are weird, and the idea that every version of humanity is beautiful isn't true. Because there's some fucking sick weirdos. And some of them, they were sick weirdos long before. And maybe there is a source for that sick weirdo.
And I don't know if Christine is talking about the same teacher, but she goes a conspiracy of systemic. I know that there was a teacher that was getting fired because they were trying to do the critical race theory thing. They're trying to teach kids that. Yeah. But critical race theory, Christine, just so you know, unless you're racist, that shit is super wrong. To tell kids from a young age that all their behavior is predicated on whatever race they are, and some races are better, some races are built for violence. That critical race theory is fucking fucked up.
That's not what critical race
100%. Have you ever looked into the stuff they're saying?
I attempted to, but I just couldn't
white people
understand what they were trying to
inherently
say.
are racist. They're not gonna like you. So you're trying to tell black kids that white people don't like you're putting shit in kids. Kids should never be. You should never mention race to kids.
Yeah.
Kids should grow up together and not see that kind of shit. So you could move. The second you say, yeah, this guy thinks this of you because he's of this race. That's crazy, because now these kids in their head, they're like, my white friend probably thinks I'm not cool because I'm black or something. Don't teach that shit to kids. I'm 100% against that shit. Don't put race into it when it comes to kids.
Something that came up.
Remember when we were young, we had this in Socati. They had the book that showed the whole planet and all the different hands, red,
Cosmos.
blue. Yeah, and it was showing you, and it goes, everywhere around the world, there's kids. They grew up differently like you. They have their own cultures, but they're all kids like you. There's no real separation. It's just different because you haven't lived it. But I remember when I went to high school, every time I would see hands like that, I would think about that. And to me, that always stuck with me. I was like, yeah, there's cultural differences, but they're all kids like me. Like I could have grown up there.
Absolutely.
That's how I saw it. And now they're trying to teach kids, no. If he's white, his family doesn't like you because of this, and don't say that. Don't fucking say stupid shit like that, because all you're doing is you're just pushing racism to survive another generation.
I think the idea
you're
that
supposed to kill that shit.
Racism was a problem in our countries, all countries. I had this conversation with someone.
She said it wasn't critical race theory, that the parent said he was doing conspiracies on systemic racism. So it's probably another teacher.
Oh, maybe. No, but I had this conversation during the when George Floyd was shot on Film My Hole, one of my first episodes.
Yeah.
And my guest, he basically said that now there's black supremacy. No, that's not the word he used. I can't remember the term he used. But he was, fuck, man. I can't remember the term.
By the way,
now.
the supremacy is not white or black right now. The supremacy is economic. There's economic supremacy. Because the biggest differences in people in the United States, in Canada, and the West.
We were talking about white privilege, and he goes, yeah, but at the same time, black people, because we disagreed on what white privilege actually is.
Which is that's
a whole different conversation.
It's a stupid term too, yeah.
And he goes, but I have black privilege. And I was like, what do you mean? Do you remember we had this conversation afterwards? He goes, because I'm black, I'm better at certain things. I was like, what do you mean?
That's not a privilege.
He was literally preaching against racism to me, and I told him straight
while
up,
being racist,
while saying like eugenics level racism, like I have a physical advantage because I'm naturally cooler. I'm like, are you quantifying cool? He goes, everything about what's cool in the world comes from black people. We're inherently more cool.
Not everywhere in the world, but in North America, it is the main culture right now.
Yeah, but that's still not a genetic.
It's not a no. He's wrong about that. It's half truth.
It's
but
just
anyways,
the fact that we were arguing about this concept that he was saying like, racism's bad unless I'm the one dictating the terms
exactly.
of racism.
But that's what they're doing.
Like,
but that's what critical.
You're fighting against your own.
But what they're saying, the reason why critical race theory, the reason why they're trying to push it, they go, it's better to tell kids that there's racial differences. No, because there are no. The truth is,
observe what they will have to observe.
The truth is, there are no real racial differences. Just because someone's tall or whatever does not dictate their behavior and their attitude, does not make them a better or worse person. Just because a white person committed a crime doesn't mean that every white kid is going to commit that same crime. Same thing goes with that is nonsense. What you're supposed to tell kids is the truth. And you know what the truth is? The truth is, I don't know if this is a big secret, it doesn't fucking matter. Because if I adopt a kid from Nigeria, the kid is going to be an asshole, a clown.
What would you name him? Menelos?
Like me. No, like me. He's going to be whatever the fuck I raise him because it's my kid. The
true.
Culture in the house, my culture is going to dictate what's going to happen with that kid. So the job is on me to not be a piece of shit and to raise the kid properly.
At a certain age, the outside influence of society, because you'd be different, will change
But
things.
that's outside society. That's not racial. No. It's not genetics. It's not racial.
No, it's not genetics.
It's crazy. That's like if I adopt a kid from China, I have to learn how to speak Chinese because when he grows up, how am I going to communicate?
What?
That is absurd. That is an absurd statement. These are crazy things. These are crazy. There are no differences. What they try to do is, this is all...
Except for the Swiss.
This is all orchestrated. No, for real, this is all orchestrated because it's so much easier to have people divided and fighting on stuff that the higher classes understand is stupid and meaningless. But if you're fighting, if you're mad at your neighbor because he's white, because he's black, because he's Indian, and you think that that's the enemy, you're not focused on the people who are fucking you. That's what this really is about.
You know what I've always found interesting about...
I'm telling you right now, let's say Trudeau, for example. He's on a different class. He's on the elite class, right? You have more philosophical, more daily, more cultural connection with any Indian in Park X.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
With any, you're going to come to better terms. You're going to understand. You care about the same stuff than fucking Trudeau, who looks more like you. He looks more like you, but you live two complete different fucking lifestyles.
I don't know how you did it, but I was literally about to say something almost identical.
My boy.
Because I don't know if it's a Canadian thing or a Montreal thing, but I always feel more comfortable around I don't want to say white, but non-Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah.
Like,
just because culturally you're closer.
Like, if I have to choose like a team, I'm picking the whitest guy last, probably. Like, 'cause he has the least in common with me because it's that immigrant culture.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to remember that. So the race that, dude, I feel closer to preach than a lot of other fucking people, than a lot of people that I should.
Except for the Irish. For some reason, the Irish, I'll let it slide. There's
no, that you would assume that I feel close to. I feel closer because the way he sees the same thing with Abba, the way he sees the world, the way he talks about things is more like me. It's got nothing to do with. And they both grew up in different circles. One was born here and grew up in Ethiopia, so they saw different things. But you see that our connection culturally, like our culture, is way stronger than whatever the fuck they try to divide. And what color that's gonna, bro? Who the fuck knows, bro? Maybe I'll develop something, a fucking skin disease, and I'll turn fucking purple. It's not gonna change my actual
reverse
color.
vitiligo.
It's so stupid, bro, that they try to separate, and people fall for it.
Yeah.
People who fall for that and they're the reason why society can't move forward. Because you have these idiots that fall for it and they go, the black guy is the enemy, the Jewish guy is the enemy. These are all arbitrary. They don't matter. They don't matter. For real, they don't matter. The fact that we're still talking about them shows that culturally they've put it in there so it could be on purpose, so it keeps coming up. This shit should have died a long time ago.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's pretty fucked.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry if I got...
oh, no, I 100% agree with you. I love that we're talking about this shit.
It's just, it's completely stupid.
It doesn't feel like a morning show conversation.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like more. Just basically don't let racist people turn you into a fucking idiot. Stand up for your fucking neighbors.
Well said.
Phil, play us out. Yeah.
Hey, when we're done, I'll show you what I've been working on, Pantelis.
What?
Perhaps a new intro for the morning show.
Yeah.
How'd you get all creepy?
It's a secret.
All right.
Go.
Oh, I'm doing it?
Yeah, I said play us out.
Oh, I thought you meant like...
Play us out, Phil.
My bad. Guys, this has been the morning show. It's been a very strange end of the morning show. We ran a little longer than we normally do. Poseidon at the control did an okay job. He did an okay job. He didn't make any mistakes, and there was no weird sound effects. The Poseidon 6'9" on... Yes?
That's only because the Stream Deck application doesn't want to fucking open for some weird fucking reason.
So he did a shit job, but he got lucky. The Poseidon 6'9" on all the social media platforms that you may want to see him on, catch him doing weird things with kids on Twitch. He yells at them. It's not right. He's bullying them.
No, that was too far, bro.
Patreon.com/Pantelis. Join the Pantelis Nation. Unless you are a communist or racist, then we don't want you there. But everyone else is welcome to the Pantelis Nation. Patreon.com/pickety Pantelis.
George has already left for the day.
Jiggity George Jesus. What is it? The
Just As Dads
podcast comes out once a week. So is Backstage podcast.
And he has Mark Miller this week.
Balabanos.com. Look at links in the description. Click on Phil. You can hire him to make your commercial, perhaps.
I can. Or propaganda videos. Because after the mistake with the conservatives, now
propaganda videos. Check that out. What else? Go fuck yourselves. PantelisComedy.com. We love you. New show starting next week. Bam.
Peace the fucker out.